Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So, before we dive into today's episode, which is dissecting how Andy Cohen keeps fumbling, I did a poll saying, should he be fired? It was split down the middle, 50-50, but I kind of think it's time for Andy to take a bow. We're going to get into it. We're also going to talk about Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky PR stunts. Is their whole marriage on the rocks? Doing stuff on social media, is that real or not? And then we're going to get into Ariana versus Raquel and more. So before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's go. So first up, let's talk about how on Watch What Happens Live, Andy Cohen was addressing whether or not Kyle Richards got the ultimatum about you will be fired unless you talk about your relationship with Morgan Wade on the upcoming season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm going to go through the article, and then I also have the clip from Watch What Happens Live. He was being asked the question by Andrea Cumming, who is an amazing journalist for Dateline on NBC. And this is what happens when a real journalist interviews a non-wannabe journalist. Like Andy Cohen was completely out of his depth. He kind of looked like an idiot, to be honest, not in like a mean, nasty way, but in the way of like, he didn't know what the hell he was talking about, but he accidentally exposes how fake Beverly Hills is. And also another thing as well. But let's dive in. And I do have the clip. So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says Andy Cohen was questioned about Kyle Richards' potential Real Housewives of Beverly Hills return and rumors of an ultimatum on Thursday night's Watch What Happens Live. As Summer House's Danielle and Dateline's Andrea Canning, I love Andrea Canning, by the way. Anyway, let's keep going. Join Andy in the Bravo clubhouse. Andrea asked him whether it was true or false that Kyle would not be asked back to the show if she didn't agree to highlight her alleged romance with country singer Morgan Wade. Well, I think that Kyle is always invited back to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I think that the supposition is that she opens up about her life, Andy explained on the May 2nd episode of Watch What Happens Live. Then, when Andrea pointed out that Kyle had been wishy-washy about Morgan in season 13, Andy seemingly defended Kyle, saying she's told her story. Still, Andrea pressed on, suggesting there was more to the story and asking if Kyle and Morgan were in a sexual relationship or not. Well, we will re-ask Kyle at the beginning of the season, Andy vowed. Meanwhile, on the May 1st episode of the Sirius XM Andy Cohen's Live, Andy reacted to Vanderpump Rules being put on pause ahead of season 14. As y'all know, I don't produce Vanderpump Rules. We used to do this all the time with the housewives. We would say, you know what, let's put cameras down for 4 or 5 months and come back to them when they have lived life. Things will be different, he shared. Okay, this is the thing. Andy Cohen may be a, quote, producer on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but in name only, not in actual function by any means. That's why he did not know what the hell Andrea Canning was talking about when she talked about the fact that there has been a widespread report or blind item, either way, that Kyle would be fired if she wouldn't be honest about her relationship with Morgan. If you are truly an executive producer on the show, you know those things. He clearly had no idea what she was talking about, and like you should know those things. However, Andy also does not actually have any power to hire or fire housewives. So he also didn't know that conversation allegedly happened with the executives because he's not in those conversations anymore, because he no longer has the power to say Kyle can stay or Kyle can go. He doesn't have that power anymore. Andy Cohen is pretty much a figurehead without any true power. And this is what happens when you have a journalist who is up on everything. She knows how to ask the right questions with a non-journalist wannabe Andy Cohen. Like, he's not a journalist. And honestly, I think Andrea should be hosting these reunions. She had more information and insight than Andy ever has had. So let's watch the clip, and then I'm going to dive into something else that kind of sparked my mind, okay? So let's watch. Okay, let's break that down. Now, when Andrea gave him that little smile at the end, it was pretty much like, oh, you're an idiot and you don't actually know what's going on and you don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to tell you what really happened here in my candy cane conspiracy theory opinion. Number one, Andy Cohen accidentally exposed that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is fake. And I'll tell you why I think that. When she said, there's this rumor that Kyle won't be asked back, his response was, well, Kyle Richards is always asked back. How is it that a housewife will have a standing invitation if the show is supposed to be based on performance, storyline, relevancy, audience likability? How is it that, and the thing is, I do think that's true. I think that no matter what, Kyle kind of has this standing invitation. So the show is fake then. Because shouldn't it be after every single season, each housewife should be evaluated about what they bring to the show, right? And then it also, on top of that, means that Kyle is a producer plant. Because he had no hesitancy, like Kyle's always asked back, blah, 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 blah. Well, if she's always asked back, then she's not a true housewife. She's a producer plant. Like, would he have said that about any other housewife? I don't know. You could also tell that he really had no idea what was going on. Again, I think it's time for Andy Cohen to bow out. He has no idea what's going on with the housewives. He has zero diplomacy when answering tough questions, and he's basically exposing that the franchise has producer plants and it's fake. I mean, we always laugh and call Kyle a quote producer, but Andy Cohen's basically confirming it. What executive producer would say that a housewife is always asked back? You see what I'm saying? He has no idea what he's talking about. And I think Andrea Canning in the moment realized, oh, Andy Cohen really doesn't know what he's talking about. He's getting defensive. And that's why she said in that moment, oh, by the way, like, no, I love Kyle. She's my favorite. So this isn't hostile, because she's a very intelligent woman. She is a seasoned journalist, and she understood in that moment that he was out of his depth. And when someone is out of their depth, they will become defensive and they will take you having a conversation or a dialogue or questioning as an argument because they are on the defense. And that's why she said, oh, no, I'm not being hostile. I really love Kyle. Okay, cool, blah, blah, blah. And she had a little smile because she realizes that takes emotional intelligence, and that also takes just actual intelligence in general to understand when people are out of their depth, they usually will fight or argue or be defensive because they feel like they're backed in a corner because they actually don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I really think this just shows that Andy, it's time for him to leave. He can still do Watch What Happens Live, whatever, but having any type of figurehead over the housewives, that's a wrap. Any person who claims to be an executive producer on these shows should know what is being said out there. If he was at all tuned in and tapped on, he would have known that there has been a huge backlash over whether or not Kyle and Morgan are in a sexual relationship. There's been a huge backlash that this is just a PR relationship, that there's been a widespread article in Blind Items that she's going to be fired unless she tells the truth about Morgan. I personally could care less about her and Morgan. I want to know what's going on with her and Mauricio. I want to know what's going on with her and Dorit. That's really what I want to know. Morgan to me is a red herring. Look over here so you don't look over here. I think it's time for Andy to go. That's just where I land on it. He's exposing that the show is fake. He's exposing that Kyle is a producer plant because he was not prepared for the question. And usually when people are not prepared for the question, they expose themselves. That's where I land on that. But I want to know what you guys think about that. What do you think about Andy kind of fumbling with Andrea Canning? I think Andrea should do the reunions. She seemed unbiased. She asked the real questions, and she knows actually what's going on in the world. And she's a woman, and I think it would be kind of nice to have a woman interview and question these other women about their lives. I think that would be pretty cool. But put it down below because I want to know what you guys think. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's move on to our next story. Let's again talk about Andy fumbling. Okay, so now Andy Cohen is now addressing whether or not he is to blame for BravoCon being canceled. And then he'll talk a little bit about Sonia Morgan's townhouse, maybe. But I really want to get more into like his explanation about BravoCon. Now, my personal opinion on this, I think that Andy Cohen is a big factor in BravoCon being canceled, but not the only reason. I think the mounting lawsuits, the decrease in ratings of Bravo shows across the board, the toxicity of Bravo shows, the mass firings that is happening right now, and then also not just the lawsuits in general, but also like the reality reckoning, and then also Andy Cohen himself being sued. So do I think it's just Andy? No. But do I think Andy is a part of it? Yes. I do think they're also trying to figure out what to do with Andy. I do believe the reports that some sort of demotion is being negotiated. I think they're going to let him keep Watch What Happens Live, but they're going to phase him out of the Housewives. And so I kind of think that is what's going on here. But let's see what he has to say. So this is according to Reality Blurb. Andy Cohen addressed a rumor that he's to blame for BravoCon's cancellation amid his mounting legal issues and shared what actually happened. He also reacted to Sonia Morgan putting her famous Upper East Side townhouse on the market. Last month, the network announced that the conference will not exist this year. Instead, it will move to a later date in 2025. So basically, BravoCon is being put on pause. I read over the weekend that In Touch is blaming me for BravoCon getting canceled, said Andy on his Sirius XM's Andy Cohen radio live show. I mean, who did I piss off at In Touch? They're really on me. This is the most I've thought about In Touch in a very long time. Because don't forget, In Touch was also the magazine that broke the report or allegation that Andy Cohen was negotiating his exit from Bravo. Andy said the outlet's quote theory that the conference was canceled because Andy is going through it. I think the decision to pause the conference was made long ago because with the availabilities for the location that we want it to be, it would have been that we would have had to have it in I think September of this year or something like that, Andy said. It felt way too soon, so I'm glad. Last year after BravoCon, I remember, and I don't choose when BravoCon is, but I remember saying to the powers to be at Bravo, I hope we're skipping a year, he revealed. All right, Andy, I'm going to stop you right there. Stop lying. And again, this is just my opinion. Andy Cohen, you're lying through your teeth. I highly doubt that after BravoCon last year, which was in October, you said to the powers to be at Bravo, I hope we skip a year. Why? That makes no sense. Number one, you would not get a paycheck because as a Bravo talent executive, you're being paid to be at BravoCon. And number two, the network would be missing out on a paycheck because as we know, the tickets to BravoCon are hundreds of dollars out of control. And then once you get there, you have to pay for food, you have to pay for drinks, you have to pay for parking, you have to pay for hotels, you have to pay for transportation. You have to pay for merchandise, certain, VIP upgrades. It is a money-making machine. It's a conference. Conferences are meant to make money. So the fact that you're saying after BravoCon last year, which seemed to be fine, you went to the powers that be and said you hope we skip a year? Why? Make it make sense. It doesn't. You're lying, in my personal opinion. Again, I'm just saying how I feel. I'm giving my opinion on what he is saying. To me, I'm calling BS. It makes zero sense. I need a better reason why Andy Cohen would say to the powers to be at Bravo, please skip a year so I don't get paid for BravoCon. Please skip a year so the network doesn't get paid for BravoCon. Because that's where the money is going. Doesn't make any sense. Also talking about, we couldn't get the venue we wanted. NBC Universal can find a venue if they want to find a venue. Stop with the nonsense. Knock it off. None of that makes any sense. You're going to tell me that NBC Universal is skipping BravoCon because they couldn't find a venue? Of all the venues in the world? Knock it off, Andy Cohen. Knock it off. Addressing the report on Sonia's townhouse, Andy reacted to fans suggesting that Bravo buy it and make it a museum. Sonia's townhouse is gone on the market. I've gotten so many queries from people wanting Bravo to buy it and turn it into a museum. I think that's a real fixer-upper, he said. Andy continued, I think maybe it's just better left, but listen, if she gets 10 million for it, which is what it's on the market for, even if she gets 8 or 9, she can get a nice place for that. She'll be set. According to reports, Sonia's townhouse is currently on the market for $7.5 million, and it is set to go up for auction from May 15th to May 29th. Starting bids are expected to be in the range of $1.75 million to $3.75 million. Oh, Sonia. Now, it's never good when a house has to go up for auction, but Sonia has been going through it. You know, she talked about on Ultimate Girls Trip how she was couch surfing when, you know, she was renting out the townhouse for money. I don't know what happened. Sonia had a lot go wrong, and I don't know. Just ladies, get your prenup nice and tight and right so that if you happen to marry a millionaire, you get paid for life. Call Sutton, okay? Anybody going getting a prenup? Call Sutton, okay? Because Sutton gets $350K per month after tax. And Sonia, who is married to Morgan of JP Morgan, has to sell her townhouse and has to couch surf to make ends meet. Blasphemy. Sonia should be living like a queen right now. She should have a castle. She should have it all. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you have all your affairs in order. And also, a little bit of a tangent here. Watch out who you call a quote, a friend. Watch out for these fake, phony friends who will stab you in the back because they want to take your place. I'll tell you what I mean. This is what happened to Sonia. Sonia was married to, I forgot his first name, but Morgan, you know, JP Morgan of Morgan Stanley, you know, money, generational money for years on years on years. Her so-called friend was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, Sonia, like you should go. It was like their friends were going to some party in like France or Saint Tropez, something like that. Her husband was home. I don't think he was feeling good. And the friend was like, yeah, Sonia, you should go. I'll watch him. You should go party. So Sonia leaves. She parties. She dips it and she does it. And when she gets back, her husband is like, I am divorcing you. You need to get out. And I am now with your best friend who told you to leave. And then after Sonia divorced her husband divorced her, he married, and I believe is still married to, I'm not sure who's still alive or not, so I want to be careful with that. But is still married to, I believe, the friend of Sonia's. So be careful with these fake and phony friends who be playing in your face and they're plotting your demise. Because if Sonia had played her cards a little bit differently, she would have been in a much, much better place. Then we love Sonia. She's fun and she's free, but you know what I'm saying? Like, hello. And that friend is the one who is now cashing those Morgan checks. And Sonia is out here, you know, dipping it and doing it with Luann, getting these little Bravo checks, selling townhouses when she could have been having Morgan estates. And it would be different if I think that Sonia was really happy, but it doesn't seem like she was really that she's really happy. You know, we've seen her on the show and the drinking and the pills and the crying and the Morgan, that's my family and blah, 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 and all that stuff. So watch out who you call your friend and stick beside your man, okay? If your husband is homesick, don't go out to Saint Tropez, dipping it and doing it with your friends, and then come home and find out your whole life is turned upside down. So be careful, guys. That's a PSA. But Barbara says Sonia was cheating on her husband, but that's what I'm saying though. Like whether she was cheating on him or not, and I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that her cheating on her husband is right or not. The simple fact that your friend is the one who tells your husband what's going on, tells you to leave, and then when you come home, he's marrying her and divorcing you. Sonia cheating or not, watch who your friends are. because I wonder how he found out she was cheating. You see what I'm saying? We got to be, I'm just saying, be careful. Just be really, really careful. So yeah, and that was a good note, Barbara. So thank you, sweetheart, for saying that. So yeah, you guys, let me know what you guys think about, in my opinion, Andy, again, just be quiet, Andy. Be quiet. Like, we all know things are not good with you and Bravo. We all know things are not good with you and the housewife situation. Like, we all know things are not good with the legal situation. We know things aren't good if NBC Universal is going to stop their bag for a year to clean house. They're not going to skip BravoCon, which for them is a revenue stream, because remember, they're not doing BravoCon for the fans. They're doing BravoCon because the fans are paying for tickets. It'd be one thing if BravoCon was free and we all just went and had a great time and it was free and this was something that they were doing to give back to us, back to the community, back to the audience, back to us who support them. That would be one thing. If BravoCon was free and they said, everyone come and have fun, meet your faves, take photos, all of this stuff, and they skipped it a year, okay, cool. But it's a corporation, and the sole purpose of any corporation, they will give you stupid little like nuggets, like, we believe in innovation, we want to give back to sustainability, we care about storytelling. BS. The sole purpose of any corporation is to make money. That's why it's an industry. That's why it's incorporated. Their sole purpose is to make money. So if a corporation, NBC Universal, is choosing not to make money off of a guaranteed revenue stream, it's because something bigger is going on that they need to clean up. You see? So, yeah, I'm just saying, Andy, your days might be numbered. I personally think it is time for Andy to bow out. He can keep Watch What Happens Live, but him being the daddy of the housewives and of Bravo, to be honest, those days are long gone for me. But let me know what you guys think. Put it down below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Okay. Now let's move on to our next story. Let's talk about let's see. Let's talk about separate lives. Kyle Richards and Mauricio, are they truly moving on? Or is this a PR stunt for season 14 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Or maybe even more importantly, is this a stunt for season 3 of Buying Beverly Hills? Because you really got to think about this. Not only is Kyle now out here doing stunts for ratings and subscribers, clicks, and views, but now that Mauricio has a show on Netflix, Buying Beverly Hills, which only got a bump in ratings for season 2 because of the Mauricio and Kyle split storyline. That was the main story. That was the hero story. That was the ratings and money-making story for season 2 of Buying Beverly Hills. So Mauricio and Kyle, they're not just doing stunts out here for the Beverly Hills franchise. They're now also doing stunts for his show. So we have to think about, are they out here doing this because this is their reality? Or are they out here doing this to keep us hooked and to keep them getting their TV series greenlit? Okay, so let's see. Now, this is according to Radar Online. All right, so it says, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Kyle Richards' estranged husband Mauricio Umansky moved out of their marital home and into a Hollywood bachelor pad as they continue to navigate life after splitting following 27 years together. Sources close to the situation revealed the 53-year-old real estate mogul recently purchased a condo in a new luxury building in West Hollywood. As insiders told Us Weekly that Mauricio's new condo was located in the same building where Matt Damon recently bought a unit. Matt Damon is married with kids. Why is he buying a bachelor pad? Matt Damon, what's going on with you? Why are you buying a bachelor pad? Updating your retail portfolio? Anyway. Real estate records obtained by Radar Online revealed Damon bought a condo for $8.6 million. The new development is listed as the tallest residential structure in WeHo, according to a report. Units include panoramic views of the Hollywood Hills. Amenities in the new building include a 24-hour concierge, gym, pool, spa, and dining area. The building has 2 penthouses that were offered as a $100 million package, according to The Real Deal. At the moment, Kyle is living at their 7-bedroom, 8-bathroom, 10,000 square foot mansion located in Encino, California. Real estate records show the home has yet to be put up for sale. I don't think they're going to sell their house. I think they're going to keep the house. Kyle and Mauricio have been living separately for the last few months, and he's been staying there, a source told Us Weekly. They've both been traveling a lot recently, so it's working out where they don't stay under one roof. The source said Mauricio does stay at the Encino home when Kyle is out of town. As Radar Online previously reported, Kyle and Mauricio separated in July of 2023 after 27 years of marriage. Sources say the estranged couple has yet to talk about a potential divorce, but they are living their own lives. They both agreed it's too messy financially, as Kyle has a huge stake in the agency, a source said. For the past year, Kyle has been out and about with female country singer Morgan Wade. The duo have been flirty with each other and seem to enjoy leading into rumors they are a couple, but Kyle has been adamant that they are only friends. In October of 2023, Mauricio was spotted holding hands with his Dancing with the Star partner, Emma Slater. A couple of months later, the real estate mogul was seen in Aspen partying with singer Anita. When pressed for details about the breakup during the reunion, Kyle told Andy Cohen that it was nobody's effing business. With any marriage, there's issues that you have, they come up, yet you get busy, you've got kids. Okay. This is the thing. I remember when Mauricio said that, I believe it was on Buying Beverly Hills, I want to say, or in some type of interview, but he said that he was moving out to see if he would miss Kyle. So to me, that means Kyle is now the one that wants to reconcile. And now Mauricio has shifted into being the one who wants to continue the separation. Because if Kyle didn't want to reconcile, why would it matter if he missed her or not? It only matters if he misses her, if she wants to reconcile. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think that Kyle was going through some type of crisis. She broke with everything going on with her friend's death, with everything with, Mauricio's cheating, him not being there for her, yada, 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 yada. She went on the deep end with everything. They were fighting. They had resentment. It was not working. She wanted out. I don't think she really wanted out. I think she wanted his attention. I think she wanted him to fight for her. I think she wanted him to pursue her. I think she wanted him to prioritize her. And he was just like, I'm doing business as usual and you're annoying me. And I don't understand why you're so angry all the time. And I think once she started to heal, she realizes that she wanted her marriage back. But he had been pushed so far away. Now he's the one that's like, well, I can go out here and dip and do it. Well, I'm going to go here and dip and do it, which is why he's saying, well, now I want to see if I miss her. But again, do we think, him moving out and, getting the condo and her doing her thing and teasing about Morgan, is it real at this point? Or is it we need storylines for our 2 reality shows that we now have on Bravo and Netflix? So I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this is all performative or what is going on? And speaking of that, let's go to another story, which is, hold on, it's loading, which is Kyle removing Umansky from her Instagram bio and buying a KR initial necklace after Mauricio moved out. Okay, so as you guys know, we just talked about Mauricio moving out. Word on the street is that Kyle also removed Umansky from her bio, and then she bought a KR initial necklace rather than KU or KRU. Again, the reason why I'm thinking these are more PR stunts, sure, they're separated, but why do they keep posting stuff about their separation, about their potential divorce, about seeing other people, but yet they're not actually telling us what really happened in the marriage, other than just, the normal standard cheating allegations for decades. Like, that's kind of duh. We got that. I'm kind of like Kyle. If you want to say it's none of our effing business what happened in your marriage, even though you're on a reality TV show called The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, even though you've been on the show for 13 years, even though you built a $100 million empire based on pretending to share your real life with us, somehow it's none of our effing business. Why do you keep posting stuff like this? KR, because she did the same exact thing. Don't forget, she played the same exact game last year when she posted her new bag she had, and the only initials were KR. When usually when she gets things monogrammed, it's Kyle Umansky. And then everyone was like, oh, are they having problems? This was before it all came out. This was before the People article. And she was like hanging out with Morgan and she had the whole thing. But then also don't forget, again, playing in our faces. Remember right after the reunion, or right before they filmed this last season's reunion, Kyle called the paparazzi on herself because it was backward. And they came and she was wearing the jacket. And on the back of the jacket, it said Umansky on it. So again, they keep doing all of these PR stunts, posting your bag with the KR initials. After the reunion, when you and Morgan basically stopped pretending to be in a relationship, because this was the same exact time that Kyle was on Jeff Lewis being like, I don't really know her like that. She's just one person I call in the morning with all my other friends. Same exact time when Morgan wiped her entire Instagram clean. Same exact time Kyle was calling the paparazzi and she was wearing the Umansky jacket. They keep doing these little PR stunts. And I don't think it's a coincidence they're doing all these PR stunts. He's moving out to his condo, initials here, initials there, removing things from her bio, blah, 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 when filming for Beverly Hills is about to start. When I'm sure they're negotiating contracts for season 3 of Buying Beverly Hills. You know what I mean? So I do think Kyle and Mauricio are going through it. I do think their marital issues are real, but I also think that they are very much strategically playing into the whole, are they divorcing? Are they not divorcing? What's going on? Because it's like, why did it take her all this time to remove Umansky from her Instagram bio? She could have done that literally last year. She could have done that, anytime. All of a sudden, now she's doing it when they're about to start filming season 14. Now she's doing it when they're negotiating contracts. See, you got to really think about how they are playing and using social media and the media to stay relevant and to do all these little Easter eggs and all of this stuff in order to, at the end of the day, put themselves in a better position to negotiate higher contracts, higher pay, series being renewed. Because I'm not sure that Buying Beverly Hills, again, I'm not a Netflix executive at the moment, but season 1 of Buying Beverly Hills, there was a whole boycott. There was basically a change.org to boycott the show, because that was during the time when Mauricio was called out for laughing at Erica cussing out Garcelle's son. This was during all that dark time with Diana Jenkins and the bots and the racism and Erica and Rinna and all of that. There was a huge campaign to boycott the show. But then all of a sudden, everything happens with Kyle, everything happens with Morgan, everything happens with them splitting after 27 years. And then boom, Buying Beverly Hills has a huge season 2 where the entire storyline is about them splitting up. Now, I do think they really are going through it, but I don't think they're being honest about why. I don't think we know the real reason why Kyle and Mauricio are splitting up. I have my speculation on it. I have my theory on it, but I don't think that they have been honest about it. And Kyle saying it's none of our effing business. Kyle not being honest about what made her lose her trust. Mauricio playing dumb about him not understanding why his marriage is ending. Mauricio, you know what you did. You know why she's mad. What happened? What have they really told us? Nothing. And her cosplaying in a relationship with Morgan is boring as hell. I don't want to see that. I don't care. Stop with the tattoos. Stop with the weird, stalking her being on tour. Like, enough is enough. Either tell us what's going on or just like stop. That's kind of where I land on it. But I want to know what you guys think about this. What do you think about these PR stunts? Posting the KR initial necklace, removing Umansky from the Instagram bio, Mauricio publicly moving into this huge bachelor condo in West Hollywood, $9 million, all this stuff, or $10 million, however much it was. What do you guys think? Do you think that their relationship is really this broken? Or do you think some of this is performative for clicks and views and storyline? Okay, so let me know what you guys think, because I'm kind of looking side eye at all of this. And I said it before, I don't think they'll ever get divorced. Whether it's because they actually get back together or whether it's because it's cheaper to keep her or cheaper to keep them. Financially, I think that they will probably have some sort of internal understanding about the money. I don't think they'll get divorced because that could really mess up the agency if she does have that huge stake in it. So who knows, right? But I don't think they're going to get divorced. They may continue to live separate lives forever, or they may get back together, but I don't see them getting divorced. So stop playing in our faces, Kyle and Mauricio. Oh, and don't forget, Kyle and Mauricio and all of the girls were just seen together hanging out at a concert. And then a fan asked Morgan, "Oh, where's Kyle?" And Morgan was like, "Oh, I don't know. I haven't talked to her in a long time. I don't know where she is." So now all of a sudden, Kyle's removing Umansky from her Instagram, but yet she's hanging out with him and going to concerts. Sure, you can say co-parenting, but all her children are adults, except for Portia, who's like 16 and about to be off to college. All her other kids are in their 30s and late 20s. Farah is 35 or something like that, around there. Sophia and Alexia are well into their 20s. So co-parenting, sure. Or again, are you doing PR stunts? Morgan was like, "I haven't talked to her. I don't know where she's at." So, I mean, make it make sense. Anyway, as always, I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below and be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's move on to our next story, which is, let's see what Jax Taylor is talking about. He is addressing cheating allegations. So word on the street is that Jax has been cheating with the publicist. So let's see if he admits to it, denies it, what's going on. So this is from Reality Blurb. It says, Jax Taylor addressed cheating rumors, his separation from Brittany Cartwright, and the potentially upcoming reunion of the Valley while attending the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday. Side note, it has been confirmed that there will not be a reunion of the Valley. Kristen Doty confirmed it. I'm kind of shocked. I don't know why they're not doing a reunion of the Valley. I think that's a missed opportunity, but they're not. Maybe they couldn't get negotiations or money or contracts, but there won't be a reunion. As Brittany described their current relationship as friendly, the Vanderpump Rules alum reacted to the claims of an affair with his publicist and shared what he's working on amid his and Brittany's split and expressed gratitude over his invite to Washington, D.C. "I'm overwhelmed. I'm just in awe that I'm here, that I was invited to something so extravagant. Like I said, I'm speechless. I'm honored to be here," Jax told Entertainment Tonight on April 27th. As Brittany also attended the event, Jax joked that when it came to whether the night out was a date night or a friendly outing, it depended on how much they had to drink tonight. "We're just trying to figure things out. I've given you real time. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm definitely working on myself right now," he explained, admitting he's learned a lot watching himself on the Valley. "I need to communicate better. My delivery is really awful. I have a very short fuse. I need to learn to live in the moment, to be present. I need to learn patience. I got a lot of work to do," he shared. "But I always said no matter what, I'm going to put the good in, even if there's bad, because people are dealing with these things and I want to be able to share," he continued. As for claims of cheating, Jax denied any such thing. No, and everybody just assumes when there's a split, there's infidelity and there's cheating. Believe it or not, there are other reasons too. I know I don't have the best track record, but no, this was just a communication thing, he clarified. Then, speaking specifically of his publicist Lori, who Brittany recently unfollowed, Jax complained, "Oh, that not again." That's all just hearsay, and it's just a shame that that happened. But yeah, no, nothing happened there, he stated. Okay, side note number one. Jax, if you're not having an affair with the publicist, why did Brittany unfollow you and her? Why was there a picture of you two looking very cozy? Why were you and the publicist and the Toms in Canada hanging out? Why did your TikTok account that you just started, you were only following Lori, the publicist? And there was also a blind item rumor allegation that you and the publicist got it on in a bathroom, which we all know you love doing. Now, I'm not saying the rumor is true, but kind of when there's smoke, there's fire. Do I think Jax was cheating on Brittany? No. Do I think he has hooked up with people during their separation? Yes. And that's just my thoughts. When he says that there are reasons people split up other than infidelity, that is true. And I do think that Jax just, one, isn't attracted to Brittany anymore. That has nothing to do with whether or not she is attractive. People, you can be an attractive person, but attraction is something different, right? So, and I also think that he got tired of how much she was drinking, and I think their communication isn't good. I think his Cruz's regression, his speech regression, probably put a big strain on them. The whole finance question was a big strain on them, and I think Brittany kind of just being in denial about everything and not really wanting to have the real questions. And when he would ask a real question, she would just deflect and blame him and go off on a tangent about something bizarre. I think she's just in a denial about a lot of things. And I think that Brittany likes to just use the excuse of Jax isn't attracted to me and I don't feel good in my body, which I think is probably a factor, but I don't think it's the only factor. I don't even think it's the factor. I think it's a factor. So I don't know, but what do you guys think? Do you think that he was cheating on Brittany? Do you think that, you know, they should be separating or working on their marriage? Do you think that there's truth to the rumors that he's hooking up with the publicist? I don't know. I think there's something going on with the publicist. Why is Brittany unfollowing? Why is he being seen with her? Why are all these rumors? I don't know. It just seems to be a lot of stuff for nothing to be there, you know? So I want to know what you guys think and put it down below. Looking ahead, Jack said that he hopes he and Brittany will ultimately reconcile. The separation has definitely been good for me, but I do miss her. I miss her a lot. So I don't know. We'll see if she'll take me back, he shared. Jax is also hoping the Valley gets a reunion. In fact, he seemed confident that it will. It's all going to be a little crazy. And when I created the show, that wasn't my intention, he explained. At the same event, Brittany offered an update on where she and Jack stood. We're friendly, Brittany told people, adding that they were in the same hotel, different rooms. That's really all I want to say about him, she concluded. In March, while attending the Valley premiere, Brittany said that she really needed to step back from her marriage to Jack, suggesting to people that she had hit her breaking point. Something like clicked in my head, and I was like, I need to step away from this situation. This is not healthy. This is not a good situation. My son deserves better. I deserve better, she recalled, signaling to her and Jax's 3-year-old son, Cruz. I feel a little bit of relief, she added. I needed this space. I don't know. It might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm more on Jax's side with this, just from everything I've seen. I think it's a very easy way just to bash Jax. That's a pretty easy thing to do, but I don't think Brittany is really taking the accountability for the role that she has played in all of this. So I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about the Valley not getting a reunion? Are you watching it? What do you think about Brittany and Jax? Will they get back together? Will they won't? Do we care? So put it down below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's see. All right, let's do one more story that I am calling Single White Female. Yikes. So, this is according to Reality Blurb. Apparently, Rachel is still out here being as cringy and stalkery as ever. So Raquel Levis's lawyers reacted to Ariana Madix's recent court filing in response to Raquel's revenge porn lawsuit. They slammed Ariana's, quote, fairy tale account of how she allegedly discovered the affair with Tom Sandoval on his phone, and they claim they have irrefutable evidence that Raquel's intimate videos were distributed. The Vanderpump Rules alum is suing Tom for allegedly recording her without her consent, and she's suing Ariana for allegedly distributing the intimate footage. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think that Rachel's lawsuit is bogus and frivolous, and I think that she just seems really bitter to me. I think that Rachel is bitter that Bravo did not beg her back and give her this huge paycheck, and she didn't come back to Vanderpump Rules as the new queen of the show, which is what I think she thought. Even after all the cheating exposed, I really think in Rachel's mind, she thought she was going to come back to the show, get a huge paycheck, and dethrone Lala, dethrone Ariana, dethrone Katie, dethrone Sheena, and become the queen of Vanderpump Rules after everything happened. And when Bravo was basically like, nah, boo-boo, we're not paying you all that, but you can still come back and tell your side of the story if you want, but we're not going to up our offer, she got mad. Because that's what she said on Bethany's podcast, that they weren't willing to pay her what she wanted to be paid. She didn't say she left the show for her mental health. She did not say she left the show, because of A, B, C, D, E. She said she left the show because they were not willing to pay her what she wanted to be paid. So I guess she's trying to get that check now through these frivolous lawsuits. Now, with that being said, I do not condone by any means Tom recording her without her consent. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not. Obviously, I'm not saying that is right. But I think suing him and suing Ariana in the court of law, to me, it's very ridiculous. It's giving privilege. It's giving tone deaf. It's giving I will do anything to stay in the limelight. It's giving it makes me, and I've always felt this way. I feel like Rachel hates Ariana. I'm not talking about because I'm not talking about, Tom and all that. I just mean in general, she just has a disdain for Ariana. After everything you did to this woman, and I know how I feel about Ariana in different situations, but in this particular situation, looking at it in context, after everything you've done to Ariana, on top of that, you want to sue her? What planet are you living on? And also, you are now a known liar. Because remember on Rachel's podcast, remember when she was lying, in my opinion, and being like, no, Ariana knew me and Tom were hooking up. She knew we were hooking up, and they wanted to keep it a secret so they could have a storyline for next season. Well, you can't have it both ways. And again, Ariana's lawyers, if you're listening, take notes. Go and scrub Rachel's podcast for every single time she claims that Ariana knew that her and Tom were having an affair, because you can't have it both ways. You can't sue Ariana and say that she found this video on his phone, and because she was so angry at you for having sex with her boyfriend, she distributed it to everybody. But then also say, no, Ariana knew, she was in on it. They just wanted to keep it a secret. They used me for a storyline for the upcoming season because Vanderpump Rules is going to be canceled. So if Ariana knew you were having sex with her boyfriend, why would seeing a video of you in a sexual act on his phone enrage her so much, take her by such surprise and anger, that she's then going to distribute the video out of anger and vengeance? Doesn't make any sense. Because she said on her podcast, yeah, Ariana saw me and Tom being touchy or something, and she's like, you guys stop, people are gonna notice and say something. Save it for the show. Which one is it, Rachel? Did Ariana know you were having sex with Tom and they wanted to save it for a storyline? Or when she saw you doing a sexual act on his phone, she was so distraught and in shock, which any normal person would be, she felt compelled to distribute it. Because you can't have it both ways. You can't. And either way you slice it, you're a weirdo, Rachel. Like, stop it. Go find another gig. Go find another hook. Go find another thing. This is too much. And it's really, really creepy. Okay, let's keep going. Rachel's attorneys, Brian Friedman and Mark Gargaros, reacted to Ariana's claims in a statement via People. The only thing more laughable than Ariana's motion is her fairy tale account of how she discovered the relationship from Tom's phone. Meanwhile, we look forward to cross-examining her on her declaration as we have irrefutable evidence that the videos were distributed. Their statement went on. Lastly, the forensic expert states that the video is not now on Ariana's phone well after the events in question with months of notice that her actions had put her in legal jeopardy. This is a bunch of hogwash. Like, leave Ariana alone. You know, I have my feelings on Ariana's likability and all of that stuff. But leave Ariana alone, Rachel. Like, what else do you want to take from this woman? Was having sex with her boyfriend, whether or not you respected her relationship, does not negate from the fact that she was in one. And whether or not you respected her relationship, you pretended to be this woman's friend, playing in her face, all the while having sex in her home with her boyfriend. And I know that Ariana has had brand deals and she's had money and she has a boyfriend and she's, her star is rising and all of that stuff. I totally get it. And that's great for her. Girl, go get your bag, everything else. It still doesn't take away from what Rachel did to her. What else do you want, Rachel? You want her to pay you? You want her to go to jail? What do you want? What else do you want from her? This is some real psycho, sick, single white female, I want to wear your skin psycho stuff. Like, why are you trying to get back at Ariana when you are the one who was pretending to be her friend? When you were the one who was lying to her face, when you were the one who was having sex with her boyfriend in her house, but somehow you think she needs to pay you? And stop with this whole revenge porn nonsense. Where is the video? It's not online. It's not distributed. Stop with the nonsense. This is a nonsense lawsuit. Now, if she wants to go and talk to Tom about him taking it without her consent, knock yourself out. I personally wouldn't sue someone in this situation for that. If he posted it online, if he sent it to friends, if something like that, yes. But I think with what happened, how this went down, I wouldn't sue him over that. That's just me. She's allowed to do whatever she wants when it comes to that, obviously. But I don't know. I personally wouldn't sue over that. I would block the person, never talk to them again, cut them off out of my life. But to be honest with you, if it is true that he took the video without her consent, she knew that and she still wanted to be with him. She still said, I love you. She still wanted to see where things could go with them. So you weren't actually mad that he took the video without your consent. You're only mad now because things didn't work out the way you thought they were. If Bravo was paying you what you asked for and brought you back to the show with a big paycheck, would you be suing Tom? Would you be suing Ariana? I think that those are big fat no's. So are you suing on principle and integrity, or are you suing because it's Mad Day and you're pissed off because you didn't get what you wanted? Playing with our judicial system, which is already broken enough and messed up enough and biased enough and corrupt enough, out here playing with people. It's ridiculous. All right, back to single white female. Okay. On her Rachel Goes Rogue podcast, the star addressed an allegation that she stole Ariana's shirt and wore it at Stagecoach to cause a stir. Apparently, we have the same shirt, and I bought that shirt at Urban Outfitters, said Rachel via Breaking the Rules podcast on Instagram. It just matched my jeans perfectly. I needed something that was form fitting and showed the embroidery on my pants because they were like very beautifully embroidered with a cactus scenery, a desert scene, and a moon. Surprised it wasn't a lightning bolt, you weirdo. I needed to show that off, and so a crop top would be ideal, but also I didn't want my stomach showing, so it was the perfect length and the perfect color, she continued. So it's something that I already owned. She denied that she, quote, stole it from Ariana. I purchased it and I didn't even remember seeing her wearing that on the show, said Rachel. Girl, stop lying. Stop lying. And as you can see, it is Rachel wearing the same exact shirt that Ariana wore. Girl, you're lying. I don't know if you stole it from Ariana, but you damn knew she was wearing it. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Like, Rachel, you need to go back into a different facility because the first one didn't do the job. You're out here acting like you are being an advocate. You're acting here like you're on your mental health healing journey, but yet you are weaponizing our judicial system because you're on your get back. You're basically being a whiny brat. I didn't get what I wanted, so I'm going to sue everybody. Wah, 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 wah. And then you're out here still with your single white female stalker situation, wearing, matchy outfits with the woman that you pretended to be friends with, lied in her face, and screwed her boyfriend behind her back in her own home for months. And then on top of that, you have the audacity to sue this woman. Ridiculous and crazy and cuckoo for freaking Cocoa Puffs. Somebody needs to do a wellness check. This is bizarre. This is crazy. Bizarre and crazy. It's cuckoo. It's cuckoo. Like, Ariana, watch your back. You might have her, like, I don't know, like smelling your chest while you're sleeping, and she's gonna want to like jump inside you. Like, this is bizarre to me. If I was Ariana, I'd get a restraining order. Like, this is too much. Like, what did Ariana ever do to you, Rachel? I'll wait. You're actually one of the only people on the show, other than the guys, that Ariana was ever actually nice to. To be perfectly honest, you, as a female, Ariana's not really nice to other females. Let's call a thing a thing. She's only nice to Katie now because they have to be, because it's like they have to be allies at this point. Ariana doesn't have anybody else and something about her. But prior to that, what female was Ariana ever nice to? Other than Rachel. Girl. Girl. Yikes. I want to know what you guys think about all of this. Do you think Rachel is only suing because she's on her get back? Again, that's what I think. I think if Bravo would have paid her and she would have came back to the show, it never would have even crossed her mind to sue them because she knew Tom allegedly took the video without consent. It didn't seem like he was showing it to people. It seemed like he was using it for like his own personal, enjoyment or whatever you want to call it. Again, that's not right. You need consent before you do that. Obviously, I'm not saying that's right. But it doesn't seem like she really cared. She only cares now because things didn't work out how she thought that they were going to work out. And to me, just out of principle, out of morals, out of just human decency, if I had pretended to be somebody's friend and screwed their boyfriend in their house, the last thing I would do would sue them. But again, I wouldn't do that crap in the first place. Yikes. So I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below and about everything going on. And also, what do you guys think about Vanderpump Rules going on pause? They're taking a hiatus. They will not be filming this summer. To be honest with you, the majority of the cast will be filming The Valley instead. And I think that's a pretty good idea. And is anybody listening to Rachel Goes Rogue? I'm not listening. I just get the clips that show up on my feed, and then I bring it all the mess to y'all. So as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and put it down below and let me know what you guys think. So with that, I will drop the link in case anybody wants to come up and chat. But if not, I will take your candy cane questions and comments in the meantime. All right. Hi, April. How are you? Hey, Vaca, what's up? Hey, Felicia. Hey, Sierra Content says he got flustered all throughout that segment. Yeah, Andy Cohen, like, your slip is all the way showing, Andy. Like, all the way showing, boo-boo. Hey, April. Hey, Barbara, sweetheart, how are you? April says he's the brain for everything because he's got hit picks. Mm-hmm. Barbara says, again, Andy always fumbles. He does. He does always fumble. I think it's just time for him to like bow out, like go do something else. April says, outline real people text in. Have the cards, are those real people asking questions, or is that somebody else asking questions? I think all the questions on Watch What Happens Live are fake. When people call in to ask the questions, they ask the question that the producer gives them. When people call in, they don't ask the questions they want to ask. They ask the question the producer gives them to ask. So I even think his little cards that he reads, I think those are all fake. It's always like at Bravo Lover 227 from, West Connecticut says, Andy, girls, blah, blah, blah. It's all fake. It's all fake. Even on the show, there was one time when a caller called in and they shaded the hell out of Kim Zolciak. They're like, Kim, how come on Instagram you look 10 years younger, but now on TV you look 10 years older or something like that? And everybody was like, ooh, ha, ha, ha. And Andy was like, that's not the question you were supposed to ask. So if a caller isn't allowed to ask their genuine question and there's questions that they're supposed to ask, how is that real? I also think the polls are fake too. April says, I wish people can really call in and send a question into Andy. Me too. Hey, Jane B, I really want Leah Remini to be a housewife. She got spunk and sass in her. And she's got that Brooklyn brassy way about her, which would really liven things up. That's a good one, actually. Barbara says, Sonia was cheating on her husband. That's why she got cheated out of the settlement. But again, watch these so-called friends. Watch these so-called friends. Hey, Mel Boo Boo, you want to share?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. I'm not going to be able to stay too long because it's very
That's
busy.
okay.
Well, I just wanted because I like talking with you all over here. But I wanted to say that you're right because I've called into Bravo a few times. This is not when this is like back in the day when they first started. I used to call into the number they had, and every time I called in, and this is my experience, they definitely did mess around with my question. They would I would come in to say something, and then they would come back and have me on hold and say, well, are you sure you want to ask it this way? Do you feel like it's this way? And I said, well, I don't know. They said, okay, hold on. They come back and they said, well, we really want callers to call in who's going to ask, this, so that's what they kind of were guiding me every time, I would call in. So, yeah, definitely. That definitely was the way it was when it came to calling into Bravo. Yeah, I think that also Bravo. I mean Bravo. I think that Andy for too long treated Bravo like his own little toy, basically.
His playground. Yep.
Yeah, it was just like I remember in the heyday, I would enjoy those programs, but then when people would get interviewed on his show or when they was at the reunion. Yeah, I just felt like he just went too far sometimes, a lot of times he just went too far because I think I said it here. I don't think you have to be mean to really have a really interesting interview. I really don't think so.
Exactly.
I think if you're smart and you're interesting and you ask interesting questions, then that will engage the audience, stuff like that. Because I think that sometimes, even now, you probably feel this way too. We watch these reunions and I feel like I feel fatigued. I was like, whoa, it's like a litmus test of how much pain and suffering you can just sit there and watch. When I think that by the time the reunions are over, the 3 parts, it's like none of our questions were really asked.
100%. It's like they're almost like giving us all of this trauma with all of the like darkness and the fighting and everything going on, but then they don't give us any resolution because they're policing our questions.
Yeah.
And they're controlling the narrative. And I was like, I thought this was reality TV. And I also thought that like we, the audience, should have the right to ask the real questions instead of them just telling us what to say. And again, a lot with Andy, I also blame his team. Like, because if he's this executive, he's booked and busy. As we know, executives usually have like a ton of assistants and managers who actually do all the research and the questions for them. They're not doing their job because they're not telling him the right stuff. Or maybe he's just all the way checked out and he's untrainable. Because there are those executives who or people in power who like just don't listen, even when the assistant is like, no, like you need to say it this way. This is what's going on. And they won't be prepped. But it's so obvious that Andy, to me, he's just not professional. Like he's not preparing. He's not poised. He's not prepped. Even for the reunions, you can tell he's reading the cards for the first time in real time.
Right.
And like, if I'm a host, if I'm hosting anything, I'm like, even like my YouTube channel, I prep before I go live on YouTube. So can you imagine Andy not prepping before doing a reunion or watch what happens live on a national platform? I'm sorry, go ahead, Mel.
No, I was going to say, I agree with you. I agree with you. And I also think that, what I was going to say, I think that, I'm sorry, I'm a little, I think that he doesn't really do his job well. And, I just get tired of all those sort of questions that don't mean anything. I was going to say one thing about the event. My mind is going a little blank when it comes to Andy a little bit, but the Vanderpump, the Vanderpump story. I don't watch the show religiously, and I've said that here. But I did hear about this case, and I thought it was interesting that the woman who, cheated and all that kind of stuff is, felt so traumatized. Again, I don't know. So I'm, as a viewer, or as a spectator, I'm like, okay, this, so she felt so traumatized that she wants to sue. But I think I heard at one point that she's suing because she felt she was exposed. Her sexual, I don't know, something sexual about her was exposed in a timeline. Some people were saying was it matching up with was it this woman with the blonde hair, Ariana, I believe is her name. That they felt that maybe she wasn't saying the full truth, that basically the people wanted her to say, listen, I was angry, I was out my mind, and I did things I didn't know was illegal, but I did things that most, people would do if they get heartbroken or get betrayed by somebody. I'm not talking about exposing people's porn, but maybe not really, being very friendly to a person who hurt you,
Yes, I agree. Thank you, Mel, and stay up for as long as you want. Hey, Natasha. Hey,
Hi.
Trina. Tones by Tony, makeup artist. Hi.
Hi. I missed the part about what's his face? Jax commenting about the rumors about him hooking up with a
publicist.
Can you tell me what happened with that again?
Yes, so he just basically denied it. So like as we know, unfortunately, like our country, not to get political, but I don't know what the hell is going on, where you have Jax Taylor and Brittany Cartwright invited to the White House correspondence dinner. Like,
it's a clown house at this point.
At this point, it's ridiculous. Like, I better get an invite next year at this point.
My overweight dachshund better get an
that
invite.
could be. I was gonna say that could be dangerous. I think that could be dangerous depending on who's in office next year. So
true.
True.
So it's crazy, but he basically denied it, and I'm just like, I don't believe you, Jax. But again, whatever. Because again, if it's his TikTok, why is he only following the publicist? And beyond that, why did Brittany unfollow the publicist?
That part.
Like something's going on. And then where are all these blind items coming from? That him and the publicist are hooking up, that they had sex in a bathroom, that they were in Canada with the Toms. Yeah, these are all the blind items, allegedly. And
you
know what I'm saying?
If there was no truth in it, Brittany would have been like, guys, that's not the reason, like blah, blah, blah. Like she would be the type to do that.
And don't forget the publicist was also Brittany's publicist.
There's another creator that thinks this was like a threesome kind of throuple gone wrong.
I feel like they always say that though. Like anytime someone's like caught cheating, they're like, it's a throuple gone wrong. Like with Kyle and Mauricio and Dorit, it was a throuple gone wrong. Like they always say
that is true. But
they always say that.
But I don't know. It was like you saw those pictures and it was like they were all very cozy. Maybe like they were just cozy because she was secretly trying to be cozy with Jax. But
Yeah, maybe it's like they even said that with Ariana and Tom and Rachel. It was a throuple gone wrong, and I don't believe that.
that's true. That's true. Okay. But with Ariana and she said on, I don't know if you saw my comment, but she said on her podcast that, you know, the scene when they were in the apartment,
Mm-hmm.
she said that she confronted him on that recording
Okay.
and he had like some kind of like bad reaction and they cut it. But the thing is, you're right. Why would she have professed her love then and continued to entertain this relationship if that was the case? I don't know. She's just a mess now. I feel like she got like a little tiny bit of sympathy, and now she's like running full speed, like barefoot in a meadow with it. Like it's too much. It's like it's almost like she thinks that somehow because Ariana didn't completely fall down a well,
She's bitter.
then somehow she's like sometimes her sins are washed away, like she didn't do anything wrong then. And a lot of I feel like a lot of like people that I'm not going to say like people that tend to have like kind of like narcissistic or dark triad personality types, a lot of times they think if they see someone that they did something wrong but they didn't fully break them, then somehow the sin wasn't that bad, somehow the crime wasn't that bad.
I don't think that's the case. Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hi.
But yeah, like
Hi.
I feel like
I don't think so.
that is the case. Let me just finish. I feel like that is the case with her, in my opinion. I think that's one aspect, obviously, but there's also an aspect with like she does have this weird obsession with Ariana, and and like we said back in the day when this first came out, it was giving single white female then, and it's giving single white female now. There's some kind of resentment where I died when you said like you're like she's gonna smell her chest.
She's gonna like try and like climb inside her.
I died.
Come on. I mean, women, come on. You're wearing the same, like she knew what she was doing.
That was a famous scene too. Like
come
that she
on
wore.
Now. She knew what she was doing with this. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah, I'm not buying that what she's selling when she's playing dumb. It went with the embroidery. Shut up, girl. Like just stop. Like you learned to like I thought you learned. Like I thought you're trying to play. Like if you had a sense about you, you would be avoiding any kind of thing. You would be showing that you're actually moving on, and then you could be like, okay, guys, I'm moving on. We could stop. Like, but no, you're not. You're showing all the signs that you're not, and so therefore, we're gonna have to talk about it. Okay, I'm done.
Wait, Natasha and Candy, can I ask just one question because I'm a little lost? So the woman who was the mistress, is she? I mean, the mistress, a fair person, whatever. Is she suing because she was sexually exposed? That Ariana exposed her somehow? Is that what she's suing for?
Okay, I'll give you the quick breakdown. So the girl in green, that is Rachel. She used to go by Raquel, but her birth name is Rachel. So now sometimes it's like Rachel, Raquel, same person. We'll just call her Rachel because that's what she's going by now. So Rachel was really good friends with Ariana, the blonde girl. She was also really good friends with Tom Sandoval, who was Ariana's boyfriend of almost a decade. They lived together. She froze her eggs for him, this whole situation, right? Now, there's questions about whether or not Ariana and Tom are happy. I personally don't think that matters, whether they were happy or not. So Rachel is pretending like she's Ariana's friend. She's in this woman's home. She's in her face. They're going on, concerts and all this stuff. Same friend group, acting like they're friends. For at least 7 months. I personally think it was longer, but let's just say 7 months. Rachel was having sex with Ariana's boyfriend, Tom Sandoval, in her home when she was out of town for funerals and when she was also in the home.
So while pretending to be her friend.
While pretending to be her friend. So this is how the story goes. Tom is having some concert. I think it's either at Sir or Pump, someplace in West Hollywood that Lisa Vanderpump is at as well, one of her establishments, with Tom Sandoval and the most extras. His phone falls off the stage. Somebody grabs the phone and says, "Hey, Ariana, here's Tom's phone. Watch it because he's on stage. Make sure like it's safe or whatever." Ariana says, "I'm not the type of girl that snoops, but like something told me to look." So she's looking through his phone and she sees a video, and I'll just say allegedly, of Rachel pleasuring herself.
Wow.
So she sees this video, and allegedly she takes the video and she sends it to Sheena, because Sheena is currently in New York with Rachel, because they just got done doing Watch What Happens Live. Now, I don't know if she sent it to Sheena or she didn't send it to Sheena. That's all for them to do legally and battle it out, whatever.
Okay.
So the reason why Rachel is suing Tom, because she's saying, "You took that video of me on FaceTime without my consent." So basically they were FaceTiming, pleasuring each other, sex videoing, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And he screen recorded her while she's pleasuring herself without asking her. And so he then kept the video for himself, for his enjoyment, but he did not get her permission. And so then that's the video that Ariana found. And now she's suing Ariana, saying, "You found that video and you sent it to people." So that would be the distribution portion of the lawsuit. One part of it is, you taped me in a sexual act without my consent.
Right.
And then, which is why she's suing Tom. And then Ariana is, you then distributed that said video, which would make it revenge porn, to other people without my consent.
Thank you. So you know what?
Yeah.
The only thing I'm going to let other people talk. So the only thing I would say is, obviously, with the lady.
No, it's okay. That was a great question, Mel. Mm-hmm.
Well, because so what the lady did in Green, obviously, is across every single boundary, everything. It's breaking girl codes, bringing a lot of stuff. But that being said, if she did, in the middle of an intimate moment with this man. Because I know that sometimes I don't do it, but sometimes people use Snapchat when they have relationships with a significant other, whoever it is, because that app allows you to
the person they're cheating with usually.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Snapchat is for cheaters. Come on now.
Okay, Miss Kenny. Okay, well, you know what? Listen, in the community, they also use it a lot too. But
what did you say, Kenny? What'd you say I do? I'm not the prowl, but the patrol.
Natasha, you're on patrol.
Candy's on patrol. She's on to them.
I listen. But in the community, they use a Snapchat for instant gratification, shall we say, to be very politically correct. It's because it goes away. It doesn't save.
Yeah.
So if you have to understand it with somebody and you're doing whatever, but they have a feature on their phone to capture that moment that you believe is going to be instantly deleted, that could be very devastating, I would say. Even if she's done something terrible as far as betraying, that doesn't sound very right that he would do that.
Well, can I just add one quick thing?
Please.
I just remember when this first came out, I remember she did send out, that's where the whole send it to Daryl thing came from. So she was always insinuating this from the jump. And then I also remember her telling people that she heard people that they were like among the friend group, that they somehow saw it. But this was all coming from her, and obviously no one ever validated that. So like I wonder if this is like I don't know. What do y'all think?
I don't know, but Trini, do you want to sound off?
Yeah, I'd like to step in.
Yeah,
sure. What they did was, if they really sent out that video, I'll try to slow down my speech because of my accent. Sorry.
No, you're okay. You're fine.
Okay. If that video is really out there, I don't think that Rachel's attorneys wouldn't have pursued a lawsuit, right? So she must have some type of witness or evidence to say, well, okay, look, we have the video. So then her lawyers will pursue the lawsuit. We may not know it, but we have to wait on the day in court. Now, my opinion, I look at things from how this show is run. This show, everybody cheats on everyone, right? Ariana in my opinion, from the jump, I've never felt like she was a girl's girl, and I never felt like she was a nice person. I think she puts it on for the camera. Now, I always thought as well,
We agree, yeah.
right, that Rachel may be a bit ditzy and, pretend as well to be foolish for the camera, right?
I agree, yeah.
100%.
What she and Sandoval did, I felt could have been stemmed from the behaviors that they both probably were receiving from Ariana behind the scenes. Because Ariana, for me, gives off, even this picture that is up there, she looks so evil and so controlling. And I feel as though Ariana doesn't come across as though she's hurt. A hurt person wants to move on. They don't want to be around the people that caused them hurt. I think she's angry that she was unable to control either party, and this came out into the public. So now what she's trying to do is to keep all of the Vanderpump crew and team away from Sandoval, because we all know Sandoval is addicted to attention, right? And without being the center of attention in his group, and she is being able to pull that she's now having a new type of control.
Ooh.
Now, if she took that video, right, which I believe she did, I think in my own personal opinion, think she did share it. And if you share a video, even if you share it with one person, you don't know who that person is going to spread that to. So even if she shared it to Sheena, Sheena could have given it to Brock. Brock could have given it to whoever else, right? And the video gets out there, right? Where I am from, that is very illegal. Cheating is not illegal. These people were not married. They were living together. They were not married. So for me, sending out corn is a lot worse than being cheated on, right? I have dealt with a family member that had corn done to them, and it is not an easy thing, and nobody can say when or how you are ready to deal with that trauma. So even if it's a year from when it happened, if now is the time she's ready to deal with that trauma and move forward with her case, she has all right to do so, no matter what she would have done to Ariana. Ariana had no right to share that video. And that is just my opinion.
This is making me want to watch the show. Really, now that
I mean, Mel, you
don't watch this season.
You know what?
You need to watch last season, because then you had like the bird's eye view, and we could see. Yeah, that was the best.
The way you ladies have just broken down every single one of Natasha, Candy, and the call just now, the wonderful. I'm glued. I'm
Trini.
like, oh, what? Yes.
Why do you think the world was, Mel? Come on.
Well, you know what? I was not. This wasn't my thing. But to hear the sort of how deep it is, that somebody is hurting, and I'm intrigued. I might pick up at season 3 or something, look at it, and try to get some things.
Season 3.
Yeah.
I have a question, Trinity.
Wait 1 second. I would say to that, great, and like love your opinion, but I think just for me personally, when it comes to this situation, when it comes to suing people, I just personally think when you take something to either the police or the law, it needs to be like for real. Like it needs to be like a legitimate case to take it to that deep of a level. And you can't sue somebody for what could have happened. You can only sue people based on what actually happened.
Correct.
And so I think that the fact that it was very clear that Rachel she really didn't have a problem with what Tom did, because in that same segment where she's saying, oh, I confronted him about it, and they took that out, and that same segment she is saying, I love you and I want to be with you. So it's almost like if it was so traumatizing and to the point where she now wants to sue him in a court of law, even after that, even months after that, she still wanted to be with him. At the reunion, she's saying, I love you. And she also admitted on Bethany Frankel's podcast, the only reason why she's mad is because they weren't paying her what she wanted to be paid. It really didn't have to do with being like, oh, I feel so sexually exploited and all this other stuff that she's now claiming because it's a good soundbite and it's good for her case.
Yes.
But that's not actually what she said. And the reason why she has these lawyers, who I believe she's not actually paying, I think they're working on contingency, is because these lawyers are the same exact lawyers who did Bethany Frankel's Reality Reckoning. And they are very like fame lawyers. They want to be in People magazine. They want their name out there. So a lot of lawyers will take something to trial to take on a case, not because they think that on the merits of it, but because they want the recognition. They want the contingency. I could go outside right now and jaywalk. That is technically breaking the law. But would anybody be like, let's lock her up? No, because yes, things can technically be illegal, but I do think that there's nuances and morality to it. Like, I think that if the reality of the situation was he took this video of her and he shared it to people, it's online, it's distributed out there, then yeah, take him to the cleaners. Even if Ariana did that, yeah, take her to the cleaners. But to me, it seems like she's weaponizing the legal systems on technicalities because she's on some get back. Not because she actually feels like I am a victim. I think that if she truly felt that, because people who truly in their souls feel as though they are victors who are becoming survivors or turned survivors, they tell their story not out of self, but out of, I want to help somebody else. She could use her platform, her podcast, to talk to people like I think you said your cousin, who've had truly situations of like revenge porns or
but then we could say the same. We could say the same about Ariana
and all of that stuff.
You could say the same about Ariana. She could have used this platform,
but Ariana isn't suing anybody.
No, she isn't. But she is also using the situation.
It's with Rachel and Ariana. It's apples to oranges with that one, because Ariana isn't like suing somebody because she thinks she's a victim of something like that. She's not suing Tom for cheating on her. She's not suing Rachel for being the mistress.
No, you can't sue somebody for being a mistress. If you're not married.
No, Rachel actually is claiming that she's doing that.
Yes, you can. No, in some states, you can sue people for infidelity. It is illegal in some states.
If they are married, if you are a married couple, they are not a married couple.
Absolutely. But according to Rachel's new podcast, she claimed that she's like doing this for all the victims. So it's just like funny that you said that. I don't know if I believe her, but she actually, what she is claiming, she's like, I'm doing this because not everyone is financially able to do this. And I want to show that you could do this for victims. So she is trying to play that role.
She's not financially able to do this because she's not actually paying these lawyers.
I know. But it's just funny that you mentioned it because that is
lying. She's lying because she uses every single episode to talk about the show. She doesn't use the episode to give voice to other victims. She uses the episode to give voice to herself. I can't believe they said this about me. They keep talking about me every single podcast episode. Why wouldn't you give voice to other victims? Or say,
she just spent like 5 seconds saying that.
Or say, whatever settlement I get, I'm donating it to, I don't know, a woman's shelter or or a nonprofit. Until she pledges that in a real way, until she gives voice to
and not
victims,
a 5-minute soundbite,
and not just something that again her publicist told her to say.
Like, pre-show.
No, this girl is, and that's the problem, is because there are, I'll just say, there's people, women, boys, men, children, who truly are being exploited and truly are victims of revenge porn. And when people like this make it a mockery of that, it dilutes and devalues when people really go through stuff like this. I'm not saying what Tom recording her is right. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying Ariana in a moment of heartbreak and betrayal, taking a screenshot and being like, Sheena, can you believe this? I just found this in Tom's phone, or she sent it from Tom's phone or something like that. Whatever the case is, in that moment of you pick up your boyfriend's phone and you see someone who you think is your best friend pleasuring herself, who knows how you're going to react in that
we don't
moment.
know. I have a quick question.
You know what I'm saying? That's more really what it is. And
I don't think Rachel and Ariana were best friends. Like I think that's really far-fetched.
They were really
who believe that they were best friends.
They were
Trinity, can I ask you a question?
They have nothing in common.
Can I just ask you a quick question, Trinity?
I mean, Rachel was sleeping in her house. Like, they were friends
because of Tom. Not because of Ariana, but because of Tom.
But Ariana didn't know that. That's the thing. It's called, like, we can say that now because we know what happened. But Ariana isn't like, oh,
Ariana was
Rachel
under
is
the
sleeping
impression
in my house
otherwise.
because she's
Well,
having
You need to
sex
ask
with my
yourself
boyfriend.
why, though. Why doesn't Ariana notice? I would notice. I would notice if somebody was having sex with my boyfriend in my house.
And exactly, and you will
Hopefully.
won't she check her
she didn't want
cameras to
Tom
see
sex.
who is in her house? You
Wait,
must have
Trinity.
suspected
So what
something.
you're saying is that you think that your theory is that Ariana actually knew and she was
She didn't
purposely.
want Tom sex, is what my
I
theory
don't know about
is.
all that.
And she was.
Wait. Natasha, ask your question. Trinity, then response.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was trying to like gather what you're saying. So basically you're saying that you think that Ariana kind of knew and was like, but was kind of like, don't embarrass me. It was kind of like one of those things where it's like,
absolutely.
I know what's going on, but don't embarrass me.
No, that's not what I thought. What I said is I thought that Ariana was controlling towards both Rachel and Tom. And what was the shocker for her was that they were sleeping together. So it's not the fact that she is hurt, but that she is angry.
Yes.
Because hurt people move on. Angry people try to have revenge. And all the steps up to now, what she has been doing with the show and the corn have all been revenge moves.
He's so
I don't think that she is hurt.
I don't know. I think two things can be right at the same time. I think Ariana can be controlling.
And it's good to have the difference of
I
opinion.
also think that
you
this
guys,
is normal
wait.
behavior.
Everybody's talking at the same time. One second. So I'll just say this really quick. I think that hurt people, usually the first stage of being hurt is anger, because you go through the different steps of grief. And I agree, Ariana is not a girl's girl. I do think she is very condescending and nasty, but she's also a human being. And even though I think her personality sometimes is a little stank, I still see her as a human being. And anytime somebody goes through cheating and betrayal and public humiliation, you're damn right you're going to be angry. You're damn right you're going to want revenge. I'm not an evil person, but if somebody did that to me, yes, I'm going to be angry. Yes, I'm going to want revenge because I'm a human being.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's more of what it is. But I also want to give Amy Lee a chance to talk. Do you want to go, Amy?
Oh, hey guys. Hi, everybody.
Hey,
hi, ladies.
Hey, Amy.
I really appreciate everybody. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we appreciate you too.
There are so many different. Well, I think these shows are pretty much over anyway, but that's just my opinion. They started out really, really well. When I look back at the beginning of things, it was interesting.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at a bunch of ex-bartenders and ex-waiters walking around. Nobody's got jobs, and everybody's talking about this like high school stuff. I'm disappointed I'm even watching it. I don't understand. And I don't care what. I don't like it that I'm even talking about it right now. But may I ask you all about this? So what about Andy? I called into that show. I called in. When I called in, they're like, okay, what's your question? What do you think? And I said, well, Phaedra, blah, blah, blah. They go, that's good. Ask him that. Ask him that. I go, I will. I was never going to ask him that. I go, Basel.
My neighbor called in and she said they gave her the question to ask.
They did give me a question to ask. I just didn't ask it. I go, this is Amy Lee from Youngstown. I go, don't you think you just shouldn't be doing all those extra shows and stuff? You got the dating game. At that time, he had like 2 or 3 other shows, out of Housewives, out of everything.
Wait, you asked a question for Andy?
I asked straight to Andy, and he had some guy with him I didn't even recognize, and they got real mad. They got angry with me, and he's like, how dare you? But it's true, and they all got taken off. Now, I went on Peacock like a month ago, and he has another show on there, and there's a couple, and they're laying on a bed, and they're explaining. He's saying, well, that's not a good move. This is a move. This is the move I do. It's gross. It's gross.
Wait, what?
Yes, he has.
He's giving sex advice to couples.
And
he's giving advice.
Oh. Yikes!
They're not even couples.
They're exes.
It's gross. It's not good. None of it's good anymore. You guys, Bedoring it up, getting DUIs. You got This is low-faced bullshit who doesn't want to hear swearing, saying the F word, every other word out of that woman's mouth. Then you got Jersey over here being a bunch of bozos, calling up TikTokers, telling all their secrets. We know these people.
I'm dead.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit already.
It's like Jerry Springer.
It started out good with Vanderpump, and she had this classy life, and it was neat. And nobody knew it was behind the gates on OC. It was interesting. We went into the world. It was good.
It's too much now.
Fights on Potomac. Everybody's wearing crazy clothes. They're 60, and they're wearing like clouds and crazy eyes and crazy teeth, and they're like crazy white.
They all look like cat women.
Wigs and fake boobs and butts, and I don't know what's going on anymore. It's not real. There's nothing real about any of it anymore. There's nothing real.
Well, can I speak on something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you so much. So, you know, I love the era of the Tommy Lee Motley Crue era there. And Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee had their sex tapes stolen, and they lost complete control. Literally, they didn't put that out for the public. And some contractor did steal their tape, marketed it, and, you know, it just ran wild. And really, the only way, she got nothing from it, neither of them. They didn't want anything from it. They didn't want that tape out. And yet, in our legal system and United States of America, what happens is criminals get a hold of these things, they market it, they do what they do with it, and it's left to the individual then to get an attorney to try to get your rights back. So in that respect, I know, Candy, you had mentioned something about, you know, you don't sue for something that could happen. However, in this particular scenario with the Pam and Tommy Lee tape, it really did show you have to get ahead of this stuff. Rachel knew that tape was out, so there it is right there. She knew what, you know, transgressed. So if she did nothing, then it would be like a green light. Go for it. I know you have this. I mean, they could do anything, and then she'd be left to like file lawsuits. But
I want to say one thing to that. I see what you're saying, but the reason why I don't think that is because she did get ahead of it. She already sent the cease and desist, which is getting ahead of it legally, and then also none of that happened. So
yeah,
like,
it hasn't happened yet. But if she didn't do it, it could have.
Right, but the cease and desist is getting ahead of it legally. Like, what is she suing for now? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, she's actually suing them. A cease and desist says, if you don't stop what you're doing, then I will sue you. They stopped what they were doing, and she's still suing them. So that's why it's very different versus.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Like, you see what I'm saying? Versus like Pamela and Tommy, which is like they were upset and suing because of something that actually happened.
Well, yeah.
So if I
it's like, is Rachel suggesting
got her tape stolen from?
Right. You send a demand letter. It's called a demand or a cease and desist. Well, demand and a cease and desist, they're different, but they operate similar ways. It's basically a letter saying, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, you will have legal consequences.
So maybe
she did.
It's almost like she's suggesting that something did happen in addition to what she had assumed.
Yeah. But she's not, though.
No,
that's weird. Then, yeah.
Yeah, she's only suing because she got in bed with these lawyers who are the same exact lawyers that Bethany Frankel had for the reality.
I think her family has a lot of influence too.
And her family has lots of influence, but she's also almost 30 years old. She's an adult woman. She has to stop saying my family. You're an adult, sweetheart.
I think they help support her financially. That's why she's like that.
Well, maybe that's why she's like that. But again, that doesn't matter. Just because your family supports you financially doesn't give you the right to sue people.
Right.
Like it doesn't make any sense.
Sue. You definitely have the right to sue if you feel
they didn't do anything.
Injustice.
But remember, she was also dealing with a lot of online bullying.
So sue the people bullying.
I mean, I know what I said. No, yeah, but within the group,
that's not Ariana's fault.
It's not the math.
I know, but within that Vanderpump group,
what she's doing is, and this is why I'm being so like nitpicky about it is because she's has a very nice PR publicist blurb being like, oh, I'm doing this for other victims who don't have a voice. Actually, you're not. You're doing it for yourself.
No, she does.
Because you're
She's
not
not saying that though.
And wait, let
She
me finish.
did.
Let me finish.
No,
She did say that. She did say that.
She did.
But let
I
me
heard
finish.
her.
But
The
I
reason why
it's not
wait
really
1 second.
her-
Wait 1 second. The reason why what she is doing is so irritating is because it's actually the opposite. When you have people like a Rachel who weaponize and misuse and make frivolous lawsuits about situations that are so deep and so real, it actually makes it harder for true victims who don't have their parents' money, who don't have Bravo TV behind them, who isn't, you know, a certain looks a certain type of way, if you understand what I'm saying, who truly are victims of sexual abuse, assault, exploitation, revenge porn. It makes it harder. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish. It makes it harder for those people to truly get the justice that they deserve. She's actually doing a disservice to victims. What she's doing right now is performative. It is performative. It is performative. It is narcissistic, and it is for ego, and it's for relevancy.
No,
it is not.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's really not. It's really not. It's really not. Who is she helping? Has she partnered with any non-profit?
Who cares?
She donated.
She doesn't want that tape out there.
Who cares?
She doesn't.
Why does she need to donate?
Why does she give to charity?
Why does she need to donate?
That right there proves Rachel's true intentions.
Because she claimed to want to do it to help.
She's not asserting that though.
That's what it is.
She doesn't want that tape out there.
Is she attached to a charity? No, she's not.
No, she's not. No,
so she does not need to donate. She does not. Nobody has to donate. Once someone takes your video and expose you to anybody else, and you feel violated, you have the right to sue, and you have the right to feel how you have to feel about it, because that is not a nice feeling. That is not something anybody wants to go through.
I'm not
Candy is not negating that.
She was right.
I'm not negating that. I'm not saying
Candy. That's not what Candy's saying.
It is negating it.
Guys, calm down. Calm down. Everybody, calm down.
No, Candy is agreeing with you. But she's just saying that she doesn't believe that actually happened.
We have to talk one at a time and not over each other. Let's just all take a deep breath. We're all friends here. We don't really know these people. Let's all just have a collective kumbaya, okay? Everything is okay. Everything is okay. We're all friends here. We don't know these people.
Let's take it. Servers. Let's all just calm down.
Let's all calm down.
We're getting riled up, including myself.
Unemployed 30-year-olds.
Exactly. Let's just all, because trust me, if Rachel gets a bag, she ain't giving it to you. So let's all.
That's okay.
About that.
That's bad.
About the personal.
That's bad.
It's about someone stealing from another.
All I was saying was this: I'm not by any means saying it is okay to take video or pictures of someone sexually without their consent, or to distribute it by any means. By no means am I saying that is okay. Obviously, that's not what I'm saying. And of course, Rachel we live in America. It's a very litigious country, as we can see. Of course, she can sue and sue and sue. That's not the point. My point is actually evaluating and observing what is her true intentions by what she's doing. Not the action of what she's doing, but the intentionality behind what she's doing. That is what I am talking about. I'm not saying she can't do this. I'm saying, what are her true motives behind doing it?
Okay, can I ask you a question,
and my opinion is, I don't think her motives are altruistic or philanthropic like she claimed.
It's not philanthropic. It's for
can I ask you a question?
But then don't claim that it is.
Yeah, exactly. Don't claim it then.
Don't claim that it is. She did. On her podcast, she said this. That's my whole point.
And she's not saying that.
Let me ask.
Don't claim it if it's not it.
Let me ask a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it? I just want everybody's opinion.
Okay.
Vanderpump Rules is a show based on young, up and coming actors, actresses, musicians, full of drama, right? Their backstory, right? The backstory is they all sleep with each other, they all cheat on each other, and all these different things, right? Ariana got with Tom because she was also a side piece before. She was Tom's side piece. Let's not forget or negate that she was Tom's side piece.
Okay,
right?
What's the question?
So my question is, we are saying that Raquel is putting off this persona, that she is doing this for a greater good, and we all know that is not true.
Right.
Yes.
What do you think is the basis of Ariana, Tom, Sheena, all of them being on this show? Do you think that they are attached to some type of charity or goodwill?
Thank you.
Okay.
No, they are not.
I'll answer that first, and then we'll go down the line. So I'll go.
Wait, sorry, I was searching. What did you say? What was the question?
Wait,
again?
no, Natasha, you just have to wait then. So listen, we're gonna go down the line. Yo, because that would take too long to ask a question. Okay.
Because I was trying to find the transcript, and I was
Natasha, it's okay.
No one cares.
So to your answer,
I do.
no, I'm gonna answer that, Trini.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna answer that, Trini.
Yeah.
That question has a false premise because the issue, it's apples to oranges. It's one thing if Rachel was on a reality TV or doing her podcast or whatever else endeavor she was doing, a YouTube channel or movies, whatever, brand deals for fame and for money and for relevancy and for a bag. Do you, sweetheart, knock yourself out, go get your bag, do what you got to do. Just like you said, Tom and Ariana and Sheena, they're all getting their bags. They're doing brand deals and the TV show and all of that. And it's all messy, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, cool. That's not the core issue. What we're talking about is Rachel using our judicial legal system with very real lawsuits in order to obtain relevancy and still being messy and get her revenge and to get her bag under the guise of I'm doing this for other victims when you haven't given back to any victim that I can tell. So
that's not what she's doing it for, though.
So the question, I'm answering Trini's question. That's a very misleading question because it's apples to oranges. Suing somebody in our judicial system and could potentially make it harder for other victims to come forward who may not be believed, who may, when people do this stuff, they may not be believed, they may be deterred, they don't have the means, they don't have certain privileges that Rachel clearly has to get the same exact, justice for themselves.
Yeah, so no privilege in court.
But that's not.
So your question
that is not. Rachel is not at fault if anybody doesn't have the means to, because she is not the creator of that scenario.
But
there will
that's what
always
she
have
is
people
saying,
that will not have the means to.
But that's what she is saying. I'm not putting words in her mouth. This is what she said in her own podcast. I'm not
literally. I heard it myself.
This is what she is saying. This is not what I am saying.
Kim, I don't know what you listen to.
This is what she is saying. This is what she is saying.
Because I listened to the same thing. I heard the same thing Candy said.
And I heard her say that she wants her voice to be heard and from her perspective. And the courts, they will throw out anything that is not proper.
Did you hear the part where she's doing it for the people who can't afford it and all that?
No,
that's weird that you didn't hear that part.
For her,
it's a little weird.
Her personal justice.
It's a little weird.
No, the other Kim.
She doesn't have a voice right now, so this is in her perspective. So she wants people to hear from her perspective. That's what she has said.
You're conveniently leaving out the part where she said, I'm doing this because I recognize the fact that I'm privileged.
Maybe that's a part. I don't know if she said that's a part, maybe. But the thing is, she has said this is from her perspective. This is her getting her voice out.
This is all
coming from. I think when she's made that statement,
nobody. But that's the thing. You guys are conflating the issues, and I want to make it a little bit clearer.
Character.
No, hold on, you guys, hold on. It's being conflated. Nobody is saying that Rachel cannot have a podcast and talk about her perspective. Nobody is saying that Rachel can't get out and get her bag. Nobody is saying any of those things. The core issue is, what is her true intentionality of weaponizing our legal system for relevancy and a bag
it's
and
not
some
for
get
relevancy,
just
for her personal.
We get it.
No.
We get it.
It's personal
because it is for relevancy. It is for
there
relevancy.
will be a level of
Kim, you don't know
personal,
her, so
sir.
I'm confused how you're taking this.
I mean,
this stance
neither
so
do you.
definitively.
No, neither do you.
Like, I just want to remind you.
So, you know, from what I understand from, you know, seeing the Pam and Tommy Lee tapes, that's where my understanding comes in. Is
okay, but this isn't Pamela Lee though. Like this is like
you can't let people take your.
I understand it, but these aren't the same people.
Like
This isn't the same situation.
Not at all.
I understand.
It's very similar.
Can we look at it from?
And we absolutely aren't supporting anyone passing along like unconsented pornographic.
It sounds like you are.
Yeah.
Well, that's on you.
No.
Then maybe you should listen a little better.
She doesn't.
Maybe you should listen a little better because you've already not listened that well on Rachel's podcast, where you're conveniently left out a key component of what we're saying, and now you're saying we're saying something that we're actually not saying. So I think you should work on your listening skills.
If she has been, you know, taken advantage of with regards to this tape, she needs to get ahead of it. And also ahead of it, and also she deserves her day in court if they have done these things that she allegates. If the court finds that she is, you know, meritless, they will throw it out. So we will.
But do you think it's fair that if it is in fact?
Let Amy talk. Amy,
thank you so much. Yeah. Now, may I just say this? I think that the whole basis of our discussion here is, she doesn't have a good character in the past. They did that whole Rochella thing, and then they come out and they go, oh, yeah, we knew we weren't going to be together that whole time. That wasn't even real. We just made that up. We didn't even touch each other when we went home. And then they say different things, but you could tell she's been lying about different things over and over again. Now they're just going into a different arena of lying. So I understand what you're saying with the saying, you know, it's not such a good idea to go say you're on this platform because you have a bad past of not having good character. And you're also not putting anything into the platform. You're not putting any money, time, or she doesn't have like a specific kind of a banner of who's, there's lots of groups out there for these things. She's not supporting one group saying, hey, here down here on my podcast, donate to this. This is, I'm putting forward.
Yep.
You know, that's kind of
maybe mental health care for women that can't afford it. Yeah, why aren't you doing that, Rachel?
That's what we're saying. That's 100%. Basically what we're all saying.
Yeah, and like also it's like I'm confused because what exactly is she suing for? Like the Paris Hilton sex tape, if you could Google that and watch it, Pamela. I'm not going to Google it because I don't want that on my like, you know, search engine or anything. But how is Rachel's little FaceTime video, which I'm sure is pretty corny in and of itself, where is it? Nowhere. So
well,
like, what exactly is the problem
right now? That's because
she already sent the cease and desist, which is a legal document. She already got ahead of it, and it has not been distributed publicly. It's nowhere online. It's not on the dark web.
No, it was distributed.
But even if it is not distributed publicly and not on the dark web, it doesn't mean that it is distributed among their friends.
Has information that we don't know, so I'm dying to know.
It seems very it seems very revenge and and it's more like retaliation because she already sent the cease and desist, which is getting ahead of it. It doesn't exist in the world for us to see who like nobody's seeing it.
Yeah,
what exactly is the issue other than the fact? But this is the thing. But this is the thing. Supposed other people. Okay, so this is the thing though. Rachel, out of her own mouth on Bethany's podcast, which by the way is the same exact lawyers that were Bethany lawyers for the Reality Reckoning. So it's not a coincidence that the same exact lawyers who are getting money and fame and everything from going after NBC Bravo are representing Rachel. And I also think they represent Brandy Glanville as well. They represent Brandy. They represented Bethany. Exactly. And all of that. So I don't think that's a coincidence that these lawyers are taking these cases
But those lawyers
all
are
of that.
extremely
And
famous
this
anyway.
is another
They don't
thing.
need
And this is another thing.
Rachel.
Our judicial system is run by human beings, and anything that is run by human beings is corruptible, is valuable, is not 100% legit, which is why you could have two people commit the same exact crime. One person gets off and one person gets life.
True.
Or for different things. So just because somebody has a hot shot lawyer doesn't mean that what they're doing
doesn't give validity.
But that doesn't matter. The courts will have to throw it out if it has no merit.
That's not true. There are meritless cases that go to trial every single day in our country. And there are cases that have, excuse me. And there are a lot of cases where people do not get justice for whatever reason. You can pick a reason today. There's lot of, so that is true. You are not going to sit here and tell me that every single case in our country that is without merit is automatically thrown out. That is not true. There are tons of cases that go to trial that are meritless. And there are tons of cases where people do not get justice for whatever reason, whether they don't have the privilege, whether they don't have the money, whether they don't have the access, whether because they don't have the connections.
Exactly.
Well, are you kidding me? Our country is extremely litigious, and our judicial system, unfortunately, is extremely corruptible. Look at Thomas Girardi. Right. You want to tell me our legal system? Look at Thomas Girardi. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There are murderers. There are murderers. 100%. There are people who are murderers who get off. There are people who hurt people, children, who get off. But I'm not saying
someone smoking weed could get like life in prison.
Like so, there is no way that you can say just because a case does or does not have merit that everything in our judicial system is going to go up to snuff. That is no.
And that's the reasoning you're working with, Kim.
No, there's just no.
However, you're right. No, you are right on that. 100% of all that you said. The only thing that I can say is I would not want if I did that and I haven't done that, I would not want my human being that I'm in a relationship with to send that tape to their friends.
Stop, you're making me laugh.
And so on and so forth. And I would definitely file a legal suit on that. I definitely see her merit with that because Tom did that against her knowledge. And what will Ariana and whoever else? She tells two friends, they tell two friends.
Exactly.
But again, those are hypotheticals.
But you don't know that. You're stating it as it's like a known fact, provable.
Those are all hypothetical things. Again, you can't sue somebody out of what might hypothetically happen. You can't do that. This isn't Minority Report. Like, you can't do that. This is reality.
You were stating a possibility like it's a fact, and that's where I think that you're confused.
Well,
you can't do that.
Just like this isn't Tommy Lee and Pam Anderson either.
Yeah,
there seems to be some
very different, very different.
No, it's not. It really isn't. It's about personal rights, and that is what I'm talking about. Personal rights. It's not the
you can have personal rights, but what happened to Pam and Tommy is light years away from what happened to Rachel.
Look what happened with Scandal.
Like the fact that was even brought up is not.
Came on like all these major television networks, like Good Morning America. It's bizarre how fast that spread. That scandal.
Okay, So Kim.
All right.
Is the FaceTime video of Rachel? Can you go and purchase it?
Not at this point. You can't. Thank goodness.
Right. So no. So it's nothing like Tom and
I'm in the Twilight Zone.
It is because
Pam and Tommy, you could go and purchase their entire sexual tape and watch it.
Stolen property.
There was somebody who went in, a whole production company that went and distributed. They made money off of it. All of that stuff. That is something that actually happened in reality to these two people who did not consent to it happening. That is not at all what happened to Rachel. Can you Google? Can you? Let me wait. Hold on. Maybe you don't have to pay for it, but can you Google it? Can you go on the dark web?
Didn't they say Ariana shared the video or took a picture of the video and sent it to Sheena?
Yep.
It was shared.
We don't know if that's
We
true.
actually don't know anything.
We don't know if that's
None
true.
of this.
That is
We are
speculation.
all just guessing.
Don't
We
you
don't know
think
if that's
these
true or not. We don't know if that's true. Those are
these high
allegations.
We
profile
don't know if she
attorneys,
didn't do it, and we
We
don't know if she did.
We don't
these
know if that's
high
true.
We literally don't
profile
know anything.
attorneys, I don't think these high profile attorneys are going to waste their time
That's
on
right.
a lawsuit. On a lawsuit,
Then
if
you're
they
not paying
didn't have a
attention enough.
witness.
Are you kidding me?
I am not
These are the
kidding.
same
And this
exact
they won't.
entire, listen, no,
same
listen,
Now that's
listen
their
for
time
one
of money.
second. I just want you to listen for 1 second because I have to go in a little bit. Just listen for 1 second. When this
Oh, I'm
whole
sorry.
thing
Is this,
came, that's
is
not,
this
that's
the,
not,
is this the Trina
just
show
give
or
me a
is this
minute.
the Candy Washington show?
Well,
Okay,
I'm a
hold
guest.
on. Let's
I'm
keep
a
it. Let's
guest
keep,
and I asked
no,
for a
wait
minute. Can I get a
Hold
minute?
on.
Yes or no?
Wait, hold on for a second. I am the host, so let's
Yes.
be respectful to me as well.
I was not disrespectful. I asked for a
but
minute.
I'm just saying, it's fine. You can have a minute, but
Okay.
the tone matters, and so we all need to be respectful to everyone, myself included. Okay.
I've been quiet for a very long while you all were talking over each other.
That's okay. That's what happens during a panel. People talk, people are quiet, people talk. But
Right.
we have to be respectful to everyone. I'm not
That's
saying you
what I
were
did.
being
She's not
disrespectful.
singling you out. She's just
I'm
saying
not
everyone.
singling you out. I'm just saying that, like, maybe just we all need to just take a deep breath and just like relax, kumbaya. It's like, to be perfectly honest with you, we don't know these people. There's really no need for us to take it this deep and far. We can have our.
I'm not
we can,
deep.
We can
I'm
all
not
have.
far.
I'm not talking
I
to
just
you,
have
I'm
my
talking in general.
perspective.
Right. And I'm talking in general. I'm not talking to you.
Again,
I'm not
she's
talking to
she's
you.
not singling you
I'm
out.
just saying in general, I think we all just need to like take a breath and just like relax a bit, because these are reality stars. They're making their money, they're making their bag, they're not worried about us. It's really not that deep in our actual lives. Because Rachel is going to go out there. If she gets a settlement, I promise you, she's not giving it to any of us. She's not giving it to any victims. She's
And
going
her
to
new
take it for
boyfriend is
herself
rich,
at the end of the
And
day.
she shouldn't.
So there's, and I'm not saying she should, but also shouldn't mean that people should be this hype on a YouTube channel over people who do not know us and do not care. That is what I'm saying. We need to have a little bit of exactly. Let's just. Exactly. Let's just.
She's an out-of-work hostess.
Exactly. Let's just.
30. I'll head down to the high school or go down to the bar and get the same action.
Exactly.
Dead.
I agree.
All right, Trini.
Okay.
Go ahead, Trini.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, great. So if we go back to when this whole thing started off, when there was exposed about the cheating and the reunion, just now, and the reunion, how everybody on the stage was coming at Rachel and she was playing the whole day in the headlights thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
After the reunion online, and I'm looking at it from a psychological perspective, where she and Tom, but we're talking about her, she was receiving a lot of bullying, not just from the what can I say that word? Oh, I'll just say B, right? From not just the cast, but the entire world, whoever had it, right? She was receiving a lot of that. Then they had to deal with internally and I'm saying invertedly, the corn, right? The revenge corn. But all of that being right, you said we say corn, yeah.
With a C,
all that being said, personally, if as an individual, if something like that is happening, you're dealing with the B word, you're dealing with corn, and you have a support system, as we mentioned before, her family, they will obviously direct her. Anybody family will direct them into suing it, because I think B is one thing, but corn is on another level.
All right, but I'll say it again. Where is the corn? Where can we watch
remember,
it's in the fields.
Okay,
it's in the fields. It's growing.
Where is the corn? The corn doesn't exist. That's the whole point. She is still up in arms over corn that doesn't exist.
Even though we haven't seen it,
it does exist.
Okay,
It's not anywhere in the world. It is not anywhere in the world.
Candy scenario. You send your.
Let's see if the courts laugh.
I guess I can't speak.
And throw it out. I
I'm
guess
done.
we'll see if the courts throw it out.
I hope they do throw it out. I really do.
Yeah,
It's
if
ridiculous.
the courts don't throw it out,
and it will
goes
be
to
a
court,
waste
we'll
of
see.
resources if it turns out that she did this
We'll
again.
see. That's not their. It's not their job to
Because
waste
she did this
resources.
once, and so
Oh
if
my
it goes
gosh.
to
judging by
court, then it
past
has
behavior,
merit.
it's not
Yeah.
unlikely to think that it's not beyond her to do it again. So
We'll see. I guess.
But wait,
We'll have to
nobody
wait
saw
and
the
see.
show with
But if the
Andy
flip side is that
We will
she
have to
ends
wait
up
and
winning
see.
in court, then what would the conversation be? If she wins this case,
then congratulations.
The conversation will be exactly what I said. Wait, the conversation will be exactly what I said. Just because something I think she's suing on a technicality. Just because something is technically legal does not mean that you need to sue over it. Like I said before, I could go outside and jaywalk. Technically, I'm breaking the law. But I'm pretty sure everybody would be like, oh, don't give her a ticket. Don't bring her to jail. Like, just because something is technically illegal.
Yeah, but that's very intimate.
I think she's suing based on the behavior that she received.
Please,
I think that's why she's suing.
No, she's mad because just like she said, out of her own mouth, when she was on Bethany's podcast, she was pissed because Bravo wasn't going to pay her what she was asking. Yes. Go back and listen. Go back
I don't think
listen.
I don't think it's that. Deep down, I don't think
we're
it's
not
that.
thinking that was out of her own mouth. That was out of her mouth.
It's
She said that.
Yes, she could
So
have
we
said
don't
that,
have
but
to think.
I don't think truly deep down that is what it is. I think because of all of the
so Rachel was lying to us?
being and the online being.
I think what she said is what she was thinking because she said out of her own mouth, this isn't me talking. This isn't me guessing. This isn't my deep down thought. This is what she said out of her own mouth. Go and listen to it for yourself. She said she was all mad and pissed because she was not getting the amount of money that she asked for. And that's why she didn't go back to the show.
She wanted what Tom and Ariana were getting.
And she deserved it.
She wanted
why? She should be
why did
She's
she
not
deserve
working
that?
for
Because
charity.
she had sex with Tom Sandoval? She deserves that?
It's because Sandoval has been the blow up of the show. It's actually brought bank to all of the cast members.
And if she would have played her cards right, it would have brought bank to her too.
But she didn't. She wanted to sit back and play victim.
She fumbled her own bag. Nobody.
I believe that the producers
and
did
also
that.
the producers didn't do that. The producers didn't ask her to bust it open for Tom Sandoval.
No, it's not that. They use that. They use that to their advantage
because she's on a reality TV show. Of course, they're going to use it to their advantage because they're producing the show.
Kim, you better stop making up these scenarios.
That has no merit because if the producers had asked her to have sex with Tom, then yes, 100%
that made their show.
Nobody asked her to. Nobody asked her to.
That was scandal, and that's what brought everybody all the money.
So it's a different
So she's
thing.
asking to be paid because in Bravo,
that's not what brought everyone all the money.
And also,
they hustled and used the opportunity from a drama from a show to get it themselves. The show didn't pay them more.
And the show was on before the show was doing better before Rachel even came on the show. She's only ever been a C player. Never
before she batted her
none
Bambi
of them had any money in the bank until Scandal broke.
And that's not technically true because they all bought multi-million-dollar homes around season 5 or 6.
But they didn't have money until Scandal broke, is what they're
they didn't get ratings like they did with Scandal.
Yeah, I mean, this became like on Good Morning America.
What does that have to do with?
What does that have to do with it? Like you got.
So she deserves as much money as Katie, who gave her life 13 years or whatever years to the show. No, that's silly.
But Katie isn't the sensation, is she?
Not the
Katie
same.
isn't the sensation.
These aren't actors, though. The thing is, if you did that, you would be assuming that there's actors. These are just people living their lives.
Paid for
you're not incentivized to do evil stuff. You're just what?
They're supposedly paid for what they bring to the show.
Right.
No, that's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true. The way that they do their salary is actually based more on what's the word I'm looking for? It's for tenure. So So exactly. So the
Promotion.
longer you've been on the show, the more you get paid, and that is their pay structure.
The 5-year
from
mark is when you get the bump, I think.
From jump, and when you've been on for 5 years, you do get a bump. And Rachel was never a full-time character until maybe season 9 or 10, maybe. So yeah, she's like, I want all of this money, but that's not their pay structure.
Are you sure?
I am 100%
Yes.
sure.
Yes,
Are you
I am
sure, Kim? Because we're
I am
sure.
sure, 100%. That is what their pay
were
structure
paid
is.
according
All you-
to
No,
what they
all
brought
you-
to the show, and that's
no.
why they're fired too. Like they're trying to fire.
Are
they
you
were
making
fired
that up
because-
again,
for not
Kim?
bringing it?
Come on.
They were fired because they were racist, which has nothing to do with the tenure.
No,
on a
I'm talking
show.
about like Dorit not telling the truth and Crystal.
So now we're on Beverly Hills. I thought
Right.
we were
No,
on
I'm
Vanderpump
just
Rules.
saying.
Okay.
No,
What is
the Bravo
happening?
shows aren't they paid? Aren't they paid by what they bring to the show?
But what about Pam and Tom?
No.
Stop it. Stop it, Amy.
It's not about the two
Stop it.
characters. It's about the
Wait a
situation.
minute. How did we get on Dorit?
Oh, Dorit, wasn't she going to be like downgraded to a friend because she's not telling the truth and not really bringing the truthful aspects out on her and PK?
Yeah.
Well, there's
Isn't that
That's a
something that
complete
Bravo
okay.
does?
Just say that out
first
loud.
of all,
That's not
these
even
are-
the same scenario at all. Come
and these
on,
are also
you gotta stop.
these are also two
No,
different.
don't
these are completely different
Yes, it
scenarios.
is. Don't they get
wait, you
paid
guys.
according to what they bring?
Withholding information from
Hold
your
on,
job
hold on, you
versus
guys.
getting
Hold
a
on,
raise
hold
is
on,
not the same
hold
thing.
on.
It isn't.
Hold
I'm
on,
really
hold
sorry.
on. If this is also apples to oranges.
It's
The Real
contractual.
Housewives franchise pay structure is not the same as Vanderpump Rules. These are two separate shows. So you can't say, isn't this how I get paid at Target versus this is how I get paid at Walmart? They're both retail jobs, but they're two different corporations. So the pay scale at Vanderpump Rules, like Jax has said, like Stassi has said, like Kristen, all of them that always said it's always based on tenure, which is why the OGs who started in season 1 were making all of that money. And then after season 5, when they got the big jump, that's why in season 6 and 7, they all bought all those houses in the Valley. They all bought the homes. Kristen bought the home. Stassi did. Tom and Ariana bought their $1 million home. So did Schwartz and Katie. All around season 6 and 7, they all bought the homes because they had been on the show after that 5-year bump because of tenure.
Yeah.
That has been their pay structure forever. Housewives is a completely different show with a different pay structure, which is why one housewife can come in one season like Denise Richards. Yes, she got paid a much more money because she's Denise effing Richards. It's a completely different show.
Okay,
they have
but with
different pay
Vanderpump
structures. So
Rules,
you can't
Her
compare
husband has
the
a-
pay structure
But
at
with-
Vanderpump Rules with the pay structure of the Housewives because they're two separate shows.
So with regards to Vanderpump Rules, when Sheena said she had like no money around COVID, and then Tom lent her that money, and then after the Scandival thing broke, they're all like living large. So
And Rachel could have too. Rachel fumbled her own bag. This is my point. Nobody held back Rachel but herself.
I doubt that any of them got a raise at all.
She could. I don't know. All I'm saying is this: Rachel could have done merchandise. She could have done the Bad Girls brand deals. I'm sure that there are a ton of there are some. I'm sure there are a ton of like villain companies.
No
that would have
one
loved to
did all
partner
these
with the
people.
villain. Nobody fumbled Rachel's bag but herself. She went on Bethany Frankel's podcast to tell her side of the story for the first time. Bethany didn't pay her a dime, and she had nothing to promote on the show. It's not Lala's fault that when Lala got a cease and desist from Rachel's attorney via email,
she made shirts.
Sent it to Daryl t-shirts and made merchandise.
Bravo didn't make shirts. She made them.
That Rachel fumbled her own bag, but Rachel. And to be honest with you, Rachel should have taken what Bravo said they wanted. She should have went back on the show, told her side of the story on the show, and do her podcast, and do merch, and drop products. The same way all of them are doing it. Sheena Shea is out here hustling Good as Gold remakes left and right.
Doing something. Sheena has her podcast and she's on the show.
They all got new podcasts. They're all doing merch lines. We're give them Lala Beauty. No, it's nobody's fault that Rachel is in the situation she's in with her own Rachel Goes Road podcast, and her only content is what I do, recapping a show. Like it's nobody's fault but hers. Production is not stopping her bag. Ariana is not stopping her bag. The mistakes that she has made has been the mistakes that she has made. And when you talk about meritless stuff and all this other stuff, look at the restraining order she did against Sheena. She didn't even show up to court, wasting resources, time, energy.
However,
and
Sheena
effort.
doesn't discount that she did, whatever smack.
Are you okay with her?
Face.
Time out, but you're like, I love how you just casually skipped over that.
Wow.
So you're
Rachel
okay.
allowed.
Kimberly, are you okay with her wasting the court's time and resources? Are you okay? I just want to know because according to your logic, it sounds like you are.
Well, no, I'm not. But the court has an obligation to decipher that. And if Sheena did slug Rachel, there's been so many accounts that said that she did. And Sheena told Tom just to shut the F up or whatever. I forgot what her exact words were. She didn't deny doing it. So there are many reasons why Rachel may not have shown up to court.
Wait, are you claiming? You're incorrect already. Again,
Sheena has denied it.
Yeah.
No,
she has denied it. She said she never denied
orders. You have to
Kimberly, you're absolutely wrong on this.
No, they on the last when Tom brought it up on the last
adamantly
episode.
denied and said that her fist couldn't even form it.
She
you gotta stop this. Like, are you watching the
She
show?
actually told Tom just to shut up.
I'm confused.
But telling
Did
Tom
you
to
watch
shut
the
up
reunion? I'm very confused at this
It's
point.
not admitting that she hit her.
Kimberly's just making stuff up.
She didn't admit that she hit her.
No, because Sheena said I can't even close a fist because of my.
Do you not remember that?
And she
I'm concerned with your listening abilities.
Just because she can't close her fist doesn't mean she didn't swat at her.
Look, I'm not saying
with those fake nails.
This is the point. I'm not saying Sheena did or didn't do it. Whatever. All I am saying is that Rachel has a proven history of weaponizing our judicial system because unfortunately she does have that privilege, however you want to read that word, read it how you want to read it, to do so. Which again, even Lala came out and said, because Lala is now in the judicial system with her custody battle with her husband. And now she's seeing how messed up our judicial system is, even for her. And again, people who don't have the certain type of privilege that Rachel has need legitimate restraining orders from abusive spouses or maybe somebody stalking them, and they don't get the resources. They're not taken seriously.
And I don't even like Sheena, but I don't even like Sheena.
I wouldn't want a tape of mine distributed.
But when Sheena went to the court and it was dismissed,
and remember at the reunion, Rachel brought some paper being like, "Oh, this is to not do it anymore," but the paper wasn't even a valid court paper. Performative.
So she had to go anyway, and then Sheena recalled what she saw while she was there, and she was saddened by the fact that she even wasted their time when there was actual people that needed that.
And this is another thing. Even if Rachel wanted to dismiss it, have a little bit of integrity and show up. Show up to court and say, you know what? I want this dismissed.
Absolutely.
Show up to court.
If Sheena,
but how disrespectful do you have to be? And if Sheena swatted her or not, whatever. This woman has let you stay in her house. You've had sex in her apartment. You betrayed her. This woman is a mother, and you give her a restraining order and everything, and then you don't have the audacity to even show up and say, you know what, I want to dismiss this.
She did swat at her, of course.
Okay, first of all,
come on. Then show up. Show up at court. Show up at court.
Absolutely.
That just shows you right there how privileged, and disrespectful Rachel is. And that is the exact reason why
she has a history of this.
That right there proved my entire point I've been talking about all night. She exploits and weaponizes our judicial system.
She has a pattern already, an established
pattern. She does not care.
Bad character.
But we don't.
She does not care.
She does not care. We don't know if there was something said behind the scenes to make her dismiss that.
You don't know either, though.
That's what I'm
saying. But what we do know,
exactly, I don't know.
But what we do know is that she did not show up to court. That is what we do know for a fact. Regardless of anything that was said or not said behind the scenes, what we know for a fact is that she couldn't be bothered to show up to court.
It's not,
and then you want to sit here and be like, oh my God,
it's not
she's
that she
such a
couldn't be
victim.
bothered. We don't know what Bravo
Come
may or may not have said to her.
She could have showed up. If you feel so wronged that you are going to take legal action against somebody who has been nothing but kind to you, who is a mother, and you want to take them to court, whether you dismiss it or not, have integrity, have enough self-respect to show up.
They may have
to
talked
show
her out
up.
of it.
To show up. Come on.
Here's the thing. When you do a restraining order, which I've done, first you have to go to the police. Then you're told to come back. Then you're met with somebody. Then you're told to come back. Then you go back. Then they set the court date. So you've already gone there 2 or 3 times before they actually set the court date. By the time that person gets the paperwork. So for her not to show up, that means that she's already gone 2 or 3 times.
No, but you show up on the date.
That's kind of my point.
Like, you show up on the court date.
She was talked out of it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
So you've wasted time of 3 times. You've wasted the court's time. You've gone there,
which is what we're saying.
Everything done. It's a real sad situation.
Which is a pattern of disrespecting the court's time, and it's taken away. And it's taken away from people that need it and their safety. What if someone's safety needed that?
100%. Because I bet you there are certain people who go for help, and I guarantee they don't get the type of treatment that Rachel has gotten. They don't get the type of privilege that Rachel has gotten.
We don't know what Bravo said behind the scenes. She still had like the reunion to
Bravo
film.
Jack to her, please.
We don't know.
She didn't show up. And now you're trying to make up made up excuses for her now.
We don't know.
It's sounding like Cope. It's giving Cope.
Weird.
I'm getting a lot of Cope vibes.
Yeah.
You're getting what vibes?
What?
Cope with a P, COPE. Cope.
I thought you meant.
No, I thought you said something else. I was like, wait a minute.
No, there was not a K.
Don't say that.
This is against your contract. This is, something you're not supposed to do. If you want to film the reunion. I don't know what they've said.
Oh, come on.
I'm just wondering. I'm wondering aloud.
Oh, come on.
We know.
I think the things that we know for a fact is that Rachel has a ticky boom in her head, and she knows the privilege that she has.
I love when she says.
No, she has a ticky boom in her head. She knows the privilege that she has. She has wealthy parents. She has the right certain disposition unfortunately for certain things in our country. She knows the privilege that she had. She's already disrespected our judicial system.
With that crap. No.
All I'm saying is that certain people have certain privilege, and it is what it is. And privilege isn't just race.
Well,
privilege is not just race.
It's wealth. It's class.
It's wealth. It's class. It's also connections.
Yep.
Accessibility.
Accessibility.
Privilege is a lot of things. It's not just race.
It's a lot of things.
It's not just race. Privilege is a lot. Socioeconomic. Privilege is a lot of things. I'm not just talking about race.
Which is what she was actually acknowledged. She goes, I recognize that I have a privilege when it comes to. She wasn't talking about race when she said it. She was talking about wealth. She was talking about her connections.
Nobody can't say that Rachel is not a privileged person. She is.
How did she even get on that show, though?
Aren't they all?
I'm the same race as her, and she's more privileged than me.
Remember, she stalked James. And she had either like her mom or her dad drop him. She stalked James.
If anyone should have had a restraining order, it was James.
Yeah.
Well, he cheated on her with Lala and some other people.
Absolutely.
Lala's had sex also with Ariana in the backseat of the car while Tom's driving.
Right.
I don't think these people are walking on water over here. I don't
That's
understand.
right.
I don't think so either, but they're not suing each other. They're not suing each other.
They're not physical.
Yeah, they're not suing each other.
Involved.
Yeah.
Phew.
Humans involved, so yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think
I guess we'll see what the courts say. It's not really up to us. So, God bless the whole cast. Really, I hope that they all just do better. They should hopefully evolve.
I don't know about you guys, but every time I see Kristen Doty talking about having a baby so bad, it makes me so sick to my stomach.
Yeah, poor kid. I know, me too.
Probably Brown's just so much more than why she can't get pregnant. And I don't think that kid knows what he's getting into. I don't think he has a clue who he's with.
Yeah, Luke.
Luke,
the serial killer.
Man, I'll tell you what. Luke's kind of spicy. He's hot. He's hot. I think
okay, I
country
can't.
song.
Like, I'm sorry when he like stands up for her. I kind of feel a certain way where I'm just like, am I?
There's got to be something wrong with them if he likes her.
But you know what it is? When they sat him down, even though that was totally like, I think Loki Jax has this weird control over Kristen. It's creepy, actually. But when he had this look on his face where he's like, I saw this meme. It was like, this was the moment when Luke realized he was dating Kristen from Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
But like, God bless them. I hope that she's okay.
I hope they don't have a child. I really don't.
I mean, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, to be honest. But that's just not my style.
But, imagine her with postpartum. Imagine her being emotional about whose weekend it is and who gets what. And
but if God wants that child, then we're gonna get it.
Screaming so about him in the car with the kid in the car. She's gonna be a complete jerk. Like, it's terrible. It makes me sad.
I mean, I hope she gets the therapy she needs before motherhood. I mean,
that won't help. That's in her. That's deep.
I know. But I mean, I just think she's an unhealed, like we spoke about before, like Candy said, she had like a whole, I think it was like, I don't know, a couple shows over, and we were all discussing that she's like an unhealed empath, and she's doing all the telltale signs of it, and she's like running around, and she's like getting in her own way with these people, getting used, like, you know, blurting stuff out. She's being careless. It's just like, I just want her to get healed. You know?
At her age, to not have an apartment because you're moving from guy to guy to guy, that's not good.
I mean, she sold a whole house, so
y'all are on.
You can't be taking care of a child if you don't even know where you're gonna live.
True.
Doesn't she have an apartment?
I'm zero priorities. She just moved into that apartment, according to her, and then she has him coming to live with her, and they don't know where they want to live, and it's
not like she wasn't homeless. She's always had a home. What are you talking about?
Well, she lived with a boy, and he kicked her out because of her.
He told her to sell her home because they moved in and promised her the world, apparently, according to her. And then so she did. And so when the relationship dissolved, then she was, out of a home. And that's why you shouldn't always put all your eggs in one basket without the ring.
Yeah.
Well, you know, just love yourself and take care of yourself. Always support yourself. You can't. I don't know what's wrong with us now where we think it's okay to just go move in with somebody where they have that power and they could just be like, you know what?
I agree. And then all of a sudden you're homeless.
This is what I would have done. I would have rented my house out and got that income from a tenant.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll move in with you.
We're
just boyfriend and girlfriend. Sure, I'll move in with you. But I'm keeping the name. I'm keeping my name on the deed. I'm keeping my house. I'm keeping my mortgage paid.
Yeah, I'm not even considering a sale until I'm signing the marriage license.
At least I was unit. You know,
I would get some tenants.
Are you out of your mind?
It's a great investment. And then you know, God forbid something doesn't work out with my person, you know, I can say, hey, tenants, or let them continue to rent, get that income, and maybe find a cute little apartment or something else, but keep that property since you already have it and let that be an income source.
And say, sorry, guys, you can't renew your lease. I'm moving back in. Yeah.
Yeah. Or let them renew it and travel and do you, especially this day and age. People are traveling and doing stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
As long as you still have it and it's making money from you and it's making money for you, you know, have your renters, you know, pay your mortgage and a little bit extra.
So that was a dumb move on her part.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know why she would sell her house.
That doesn't make any sense to me. And she's usually like, she always strikes me as good with her money too. Like it was always like her, like I said, her and Sheena always seemed like it didn't matter how crazy they were. They always seemed like they were like, they're always paying for their boyfriends because they always were good with their money, you know?
Yeah, and it's like, and I know she had gotten fired from Vanderpump Rules, so it's like if you didn't have enough money for the mortgage, then like rent it out. You could even rent rooms out, but just to give it up and move in with some dude, hell no. Like
that's crazy.
I would put all my pride aside. Like, say I bought this amazing house. I'm a single woman, and by single I mean like not married because she's still single. And say, you know, God forbid I lost my job, my main moneymaker. I would put pride, ego out the door, and I would be like, who needs a roommate? People, let's come in. I would get some good girlfriends, let them pay rent, keep that mortgage going, and who cares? It's better than being
like, do I have a
40
cousin
what
that
I'm
wants to
saying?
move to LA? Come on
A
down,
cousin,
move in.
somebody, something, a friend of a friend, somebody to keep it pushing. Because you gotta do, that's the thing, you gotta do what is right for you. Your finances, your well-being, ego, whatever it quote looks like, be damned, because the people you think are judging you, they're not going to pay your bills. They're not going to.
They're not feeding you. They're not paying your bills. Yeah.
So you got to do what's right for you. I don't know. However old Kristen was, 40, let's say, I would be 40 with roommates and be like, what? And what? My mortgage is paid, and my house is still good. What?
I'm not homeless.
Yeah, and what? What you got to say about it?
So what you got to say about it?
You don't like it, get out.
Get out. Exactly. You can't live your life based on like, oh my God, this looks bad.
She just goes from man to man. Didn't she try to have a baby with the last guy?
Yes, that's what Jax said.
Yeah. She just trying to get, and I almost feel like she wants like financial.
Well, she said Zach was going to be the sperm donor if anything backfired.
Man,
I think she just feels the pressure like a lot of women do, unfortunately.
Yeah, I get that.
Or she feels envious over the other.
Oh, definitely envious.
Right?
She'd have to be envious. Everybody around her has babies. Everybody.
Yep, that's what I think.
Lala's like, I'm not even waiting around. I'm getting one right now. We're having a party. I'm picking one out.
We're having a party.
We're gonna pick out this baby.
Spin the towel on the sperm.
Let's do this.
That was kind of funny. I actually enjoyed that. I don't know. Most people may not have, but I thought that was interesting.
Oh my God, I think about this stuff all the time. I fill out notebooks, notebooks of all the shit that bothers me about this stuff, and I'm like, man, I gotta.
That always bugged me about Lauren though, because I always call her Lala. I feel bad. That was the first time I ever called. That was the first time I ever called her Lauren. Woo! I am turning over a new leaf. But she pissed me off with that because that was fake to me. Her talking like I'm not saying it doesn't matter whether Ariana sucks or not. Like that's irrelevant. But don't pretend to be your friend and talk shit about her behind her back and then ask her to have a party at her house. That's fake. I don't like fake.
All right. It was at her house. Oh my God.
She's like, can I?
It was at Lisa Vanderpump's house because Ariana said no.
She asked Ariana.
Ariana said no. Yeah,
Ariana said no.
So I'm like, come on. Yeah, like she's in the doghouse this season for me.
But I also still think
I like her more this season a lot. I think
she's grown up a lot.
Yeah,
remember when she sucked on a bottle and tried to make a living?
I
and do. About sucking dicks and getting cars and come on.
Oh my God, yeah. The bottle sucking.
Amy, you're out of control.
No, she was like on camera sucking that baby bottle.
Amy, you remind me of an actress or like a comedian.
Isabella Rossellini.
Oh, yeah. No.
You remind me of Jennifer Tilly.
I also
you do. Yep,
Jennifer
I know.
Tilly.
She has the mullet, right? Like a mullet haircut, and she wears like.
No, Jennifer Tilly is Sutton's best friend.
Yes, Sutton.
Oh, see, there's a comedian, and she has like a mullet haircut, and she wears like
Are you talking about the Mississippi lady?
No, she doesn't have your accent. It's not the same accent because this lady has a New Yorkish kind of accent. But the vibe and the rasp in your voice and how you announce, like how you kind of like your vernacular, and how you enunciate, it just reminds me because that's what she's like. I'm going over here, we're going over there. And it's just like a matter of fact. It's just like, oh my God, you have been cracking me.
Where are
up
you
this
from,
whole...
Amy? Where are you from? What state?
I'm from Youngstown. I live in Youngstown, Ohio.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we got Boom Boom Mancini here.
Who's that?
Oh, what? Boom Boom Mancini? You don't remember in the 80s? I think he's like a featherweight boxer. Anyway, killed somebody in the ring in the 80s. It was like a big deal. And now and you know who else is from around here? On Family.
Johnny Depp.
Modern Family. The grandpa. Ed O'Neill. He's from up the street. He's from here. There's a lot of neat.
Not up the street.
Chrissy Hind from The Pretenders and Johnny Depp, I think, are from Ohio, right?
Yeah, and then Here's the guy that bit the ear off. He's from around
Mike
here.
Tyson?
Mansfield. Yeah, he's from close around here. But yeah, it's pretty cool. In fact, when gosh, I want to say that boy in Cleveland, but he's a huge basketball star. Who's the guy?
Oh yeah, I know. I know what you're gonna say. Yes, LeBron.
LeBron, when he was in high school, he was given this Hummer and everybody lost their minds. He pulled into high school in a yellow Hummer and everybody went bananas because he got kicked, because they thought he was like getting like giving gifts and stuff, but he was always going to be a big star. So we're real proud of him. He's from around here too.
Yeah, I heard like they were like putting him in camps at like 11 years old. Like he was on the fast track to that. It was always going to be that way. Yeah.
You guys, I just realized we never let Adam talk.
I know.
Adam
like ran away. He's like, I'm not getting involved in that.
I feel like today we're like the episode of like The View. And by the way, I just want to say I love all of you guys. I know we got really fiery, but
yeah, I know we did.
I appreciate all of you. I appreciate.
I love all you too. We're all passionate ladies.
Stop it. This is my moment. Stop hijacking me.
Oh, whoops.
And
she's like,
oh my God, I
yes.
totally was.
She was like, yes, thank you guys for being on my panel. Yes.
I totally was.
Thank you, Candy.
No, I was saying
Candy.
I appreciate all of you.
Candy
and I love that we can
was
agree
fire,
to
but
disagree. And I just want to say I really appreciate all of your passion and input and intelligence. And I just really appreciative of the fun conversation we had today. And I appreciate everybody.
Yeah, I appreciate, and I no hard feelings,
too.
Kimberly.
Yeah.
You know, we just get
Vanessa.
passionate.
Love you.
Yes, no hard feelings, you guys. None.
You know, we're just passionate ladies. That's why we love Candy, because she gets us all fired up.
We should do our own show. We could do The View. We could do we could do something, y'all.
We could.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we love each other.
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
No matter what our opinions are. And
Mhm.
and for me, I just have so much empathy. That's like I put myself in someone else's place, and I wouldn't want my tape, which I wouldn't.
Are you saying like we that, don't? I'm just kidding.
No, I wouldn't want my tape ever.
I was joking.
I would definitely sue.
Yeah, and Kimberly, you have a really good heart. You do, and you do have really good
Kimberly,
empathy, and you have a really good heart. And Trini, I hope you're still listening. Loved your thoughts too, and I appreciate you coming up as well.
Yeah, Trini.
Yeah, we love you, Trini.
Okay.
We all appreciate your perspective as well.
Yeah,
love it.
Love you guys.
I just want to say sorry to Adam. Like he got caught, and he was like, I'm not cut out for this.
He's like, I'm a dude. I'm out right now.
He's like, I am not cut out for
Mel
this.
too, guys.
Mel got out while he could.
Mel got out before.
He snuck out. Mel and Adam snuck out.
Trini's back. Hi, Trini. We love you, Trini.
Thank you.
Love you,
Trini, did you hear us? We love you.
Yes,
we're all kumbaya.
I just had to step away for a minute.
It was good.
Yes, love you guys too.
The smoke was cleared out. Now we're in love mode.
Everyone.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, bye.
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 Okay, Bucky, last minute.
Aw. All right. Thank you guys for joining. This was amazing. And shout out to my fabulous panel. I love you guys. Thank you, Amy Lee. Thank you, Trini. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Mel. Shout out to everybody in the chat box. Fire Robin, Geek and Me. Who else has been hanging out with us? Lexi, what is up, sweetheart? How are you? Blah, 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 blah. Andrew Mack, how are you? Darren Hood, what is up, sweetheart? And everybody else. Oh, Barbara, Mary. Shout out to everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being my beautiful Candy Cane community. As always, you guys are respectful and you guys are so intelligent. I claim it. I have the most intelligent, empathetic, kind-hearted community out there. And I appreciate each and every one of you. So you guys take care of yourself. Have a fun weekend and be safe. And yeah, I love you guys. Mwah. I'll talk to you later. Hey, Tones. Yeah. What's up, sweetheart? Tones by Tony. Yay. All right, you guys. I love you, okay? Be safe and have fun. And See you next. Oh, and don't forget to send it to Daryl. I'm just kidding. All right, you guys. Bye.